fuck are you? Hold on, man. I don't know if you're a shapeshifter or what.
How many more of you came through that door?
There's 2 more besides us.
Is one of them a black woman?
That woman is my best friend. I'm not gonna let anything happen to her.
Just last week you told me you were broke and asked me to pay for your breakfast.
Well, I'm not gonna use this, man. No way. It's blood money. You crazy? You heard it up top. Get ready to pursue peace as we hail Hitler. Ooh, uh-oh.
Ooh.
Here on Normies Like Us as we talk Peacemaker Season 2 with your hosts, Colin Terrific.
Michael Lanti, I know everything there is to know about spiders.
And this is Jake Alanti.
Oh, hey, you're me. I'm you. You're great.
Hey, is your favorite color
green? Yeah. Back at it again, making peace. No matter what the cost, no matter how many men, women, or children we have to kill to get peace, we're going to get it. Because we're back with our man Christopher, Peacemaker, John Cena. Season 2.
That's right.
When did season 1 come out? Has it really been that many episodes?
It's been 4 years, Mike.
Wow.
It's been 4 years, but we have
years.
seen this guy a bunch. Like, he hasn't disappeared, right? He's been in Superman. He's
Correct.
been in, well, he appeared first in the Suicide Squad, but he's been around, right?
He's kind of he existed before the DCU, like before the total takeover of James Gunn, right? And so remember at the end of season 1 we have the Justice League, and now we're going to, as we talk season 2, kind of retcon that to the Justice Gang from Superman.
There's been some retconning.
And they kind of just pulled him. They just pulled him in. Yeah.
Technically, yeah. So we have, of course, The Suicide Squad, directed by James Gunn, which came out during the DCEU, retroactively added to the beginning of the DCEU, I guess you could say, because we know the events of that movie are canon in the DCU, at least the killing of Rick Flag Jr. and all that stuff, which is very important to this season, of course. So, yeah.
This season deals a lot more with kind of the aftermath of the Suicide Squad than season 1 did, even.
Yeah.
If memory serves, anyway.
Could say it's all about that. And, it's this season is more character focused, I think, with Peacemaker, Chris Smith, trying to figure out who he really is and, having some inward reflection.
Right. So, well, what did we think of season 1? Because it has been a couple years. That's the butterflies are taking over. There's a big monster in the basement, the big cow that they're trying to get rid of. Global invasion threat.
Right.
Yeah.
Forgot about the cow. It's been a minute. I love that first season. I do remember rewatching it after it aired, but again, that was so many years ago at this point that I don't truly remember season 1 a lot. And I don't know. I'd also be curious to hear what your guys' relationship to Peacemaker was before the Suicide Squad, because obviously I didn't know that he existed.
Oh, none. Yeah, I had no relationship to the character of Peacemaker. Did not know that he existed either. And as you know, I am the DC kid, of course. So if anyone would know, it's probably me. But no, I'm not a Peacemaker fan pre, DCU, you could say.
Did you like season 1, Jacob?
Yeah. I liked it. Yeah, from what I can remember. I didn't rewatch it. Did you guys rewatch it before watching season 2?
I did not. I just jumped right in.
Yeah.
But I had a vague remembrance. I remember the vibes of season 1, and I know I liked it. I know that when Suicide Squad came out and they announced the Peacemaker show was coming, I said this on the first Peacemaker episode, I was like, who wants this show? Peacemaker? He's like a villain. Like, who wants a show for this character? And then after watching the season, I was like, this worked really well, actually. So I was excited for season 2.
Yeah. When it came out that they were doing a spin-off of someone from the Suicide Squad, I thought, that would not be my first choice in terms of if you could spin off any character from the Suicide Squad. I don't think I would pick Peacemaker, but obviously James Gunn had some ideas of what to do with that character. And I do think that John Cena is a good actor in this role. I think he's a good actor in general, but as Peacemaker.
What was your relationship to John Cena, Jacob? Because I know that out of our friend, where did you go? Hold on.
Where is he?
I was talking to Jacob. Oh, there he is. Sorry, there you go, Jacob. As our friend group liked and watched wrestling in college, I know that you and I were kind of the people least into it or came least into it. And I would argue our friend group all kind of thought John Cena was super corny, and that kind of kept me from liking him. Did that
Well, let
hit
me ask
you
you
at
this,
all?
Colin. Do
Mhm.
these
Yeah.
words mean anything to you? Hustle, loyalty, respect.
Yeah,
Bum,
they
ba-dum,
they mean the
bum.
world to me, honestly.
Yeah, right. Uh,
No, I mean John Cena's image pre sort of transition to film roles was very interesting because he was sort of that. I mean, he was very like popular within the wrestling community, but I think he was the normie wrestler. You know, he was the sort of he felt like the face of like corporate wrestling. Like he had his jean shorts, he had his hustle, loyalty, respect shirt, and he just felt like very kind of douchey in the 2000s. Like I was really not into John Cena at all.
right.
I was more into even The Rock than John Cena. I was like, oh, The
Oh,
Rock's like a
oh yeah.
bad boy. Yeah.
Right.
That's
And
so wild.
John Cena eventually would become like the prototypical baby face. Like he was so corny. He had his
Yeah.
wristbands, and like
He
kids
loved
really
the
liked him.
Marines and yeah.
Yeah. He would do the
Marines.
Marines.
I mean, you did not
It's
like him,
pro-America.
right, Mike?
No, I didn't like his character, because it was for kids. I thought he's lame. I like the edgy guys, right? But I always respected him as a person because, fun fact, John Cena has personally done more Make-A-Wishes than anyone
Yes.
on Earth. So he's actually a good guy.
I like
Very
a
His character was
million.
lame.
person.
Like
Yeah.
he's destroyed the record. Like he's such a
Yeah.
good person.
Yeah.
And the
yeah,
more I got
so-
to know him out of his wrestling persona, I was like, you know what, this guy is a pretty good guy, actually. And Colin, I want to bring up one thing
Chilling.
that you probably Bing Chiling, he loves
He speaks
Chinese
Mandarin.
ice cream.
Mhm.
But
Yeah, Tom Mandarin
Colin,
just for business. Yeah.
I know you in particular would know him from this. A show that we used to watch, Divas. Whatever that show is called. The reality
Yeah.
show
Yeah,
following
I think that is what it was called. Yeah, the Bella
yeah.
twins. His particular arc where he was with one of the Bellas.
Nikki, I
I
believe.
he
cannot
was with one of the
remember.
Bellas, and
Yeah.
Brian Danielson was with the other, or
Yeah.
Daniel Bryan
Daniel Bryan
was with the
yeah.
other Bella twin, and they had a
Yeah.
reality show where they would follow these female wrestlers, including the Bella twins. One of them was in a relationship with John Cena, and his character in that was a little like he was like afraid of commitment.
There would be
not willing
these
to settle
scenes.
down with. Yeah.
Mhm.
Like, and it's maybe the most. I mean, I've watched like a lot of trashy dating shows, but as far as like desperate
Total
or not
Divas.
desperate housewives,
That's what it's called.
Total Divas, great
Yeah,
memory.
On
Doc.
E.
What's the one?
Yeah.
True Housewives or whatever, right? That's
Real
what that
Housewives?
whole genre.
Real Housewives
thank you,
of
Real
New Jersey or whatever.
Clearly, this show was made to me like that, where I've never seen a female-focused show based around drama making, right? And Jacob, you're so right in that they would cut to these scenes where he would sit her down, whichever Bella she was, and he'd say, "You have to understand, I'll never marry you." And it would cut to her talking to her sister.
Yeah.
And she's like, "I think I'm seeing some red flags with John on commitment."
Mhm.
I just remember I would come over to your house. You were living with our friend Joe at the time.
Yeah.
Back in the day, you'd have Total Divas on. When I walked in, we'd watch some Total Divas. And I remember one scene in particular where it's like John Cena comes home. And what were their names? The Bellas? Like, what are
I
their first
can't
names?
I just know Nikki Bella, I think is who he was with.
Nikki.
Other than that.
Nikki, yeah.
She cooked him this nice meal for dinner, and it was going to be like this nice thing. He comes home acting super weird. He's like, "Oh, you used the kitchen, you cooked. I thought we were like going to go out." She's like, "No, I thought I could just like cook and stuff." He's like, "Well, this is kind of like my space. Like I like it a particular way."
Were you in
Wow.
my
Very
home
cool.
alone? And she's like, "Yes, you gave me that key." And he's like, "Right, yes. And you came here by yourself." And she's like, "Yes."
Yeah.
It's
So just
so
very afraid of
scary.
being tied down by this relationship. And so I was like, that's a little strange. But getting to know him, as a person, like behind the scenes and stuff, he seems like a very fun guy.
Now I think he is married.
Yeah. Well, maybe that just wasn't the relationship for him. I don't know. Or he
I
was in
don't
a
know.
younger stage of his life. He
don't
wasn't ready
know.
to settle down.
Yeah, he married not her in 2020, apparently.
No.
Yeah. Do you remember, were you guys ever Howard Stern guys?
Not really.
Not really.
No. Me, not really either, but there was just phases where I'd watch his interviews. Like I wouldn't even listen to the radio show. I would just find people I liked and then just watch the interviews or whatever.
Mhm.
And John Cena has this famous one where you know Howard Stern, where he'd be like, "So tell me, like how much sex were you having? How much sex were you having, Renee?" He's like, "Oh,
Right.
Howard, you have to understand. I mean, threesomes, foursomes, fivesomes," and he would go on and say these
Oh,
things. He'd
man.
say, the other thing is, some guys, they get turned off by like a little weight on a girl. Me, doesn't matter. Bigger the better. And he would
Oh,
say
hell
like
yeah.
all these things where he's like, I've got like 8 big girls in my bed. And I just remember thinking like, oh, John Cena's like insane.
Yeah, he's a
He's the
freak.
prototype.
What goes on the wrestling tour,
Yeah.
stays on the wrestling
Now
tour.
there
and
is
gets
an
behind the scenes.
orgy in this show.
Yeah, he was probably
Yeah,
pretty
that's
comfortable
based on
filming
his
that
real
scene.
life.
Yeah.
It could
Yeah.
be.
He brought that to
If you
the-
told me John Cena was bisexual, I'd be like, sure. Like
Sure,
that
dude.
kind of tracks almost, honestly. Yeah, I
Yeah.
don't know.
I
yeah.
wouldn't be surprised. And I think the character of Chris Smith is bisexual or
Oh, outed in
uh,
season 1. Yeah, talks about,
yeah.
sucking dick and stuff. And he says, "You think that's not a compliment?"
Right.
But I think John Cena as a person really changed a lot and matured. And I think he's talked about this, how he used to have a different sort of worldview and be more immature in his younger age. And he really has changed and grown a lot as a person. And he's become, he's trying to live life in sort of an
Yeah.
inspirational way and all that stuff.
You brought up The Rock. Obviously, the big debate everybody does is like, who's the better actor? The Rock, Dave Bautista, or John Cena, right? And they lay those
Right.
3 out or whatever. I think John Cena did the move The Rock did of like, what if I'm not a person anymore? What if I'm just sort of like a company, like myself? Like I don't have a personality. But I think his move was like to do like 50% of that. And I think that's why we like John Cena, because he's still a human, but he has been like, ha ha ha, my past? No, I've erased that. And you're like,
Yeah,
you were a
feels
white
more like a real
rapper who
person.
definitely said the N-word.
Yeah, the chain gang.
Right.
Don't forget.
Look, nothing that happened in the 2000 counts. Okay, you can't hold
Yeah.
that against me.
Against
that
any of
decade.
us.
No, yeah.
Yeah. No, but he does feel like more of a real person to me than The Rock, for sure. Like The Rock, and I think The Rock's trying to make this change now where he's like, look, I can act in serious movies. I can do like an Oscar awards bait type of role. But he's still just such an enigma as a person because he's just a brand. And I think John Cena has made sort of an attempt to become more, social media friendly or whatever. But he still seems like a genuine person, and hearing him talk on like, press stuff for different shows or things he's in and behind the scenes stuff, he does seem like a genuine person. So I like that. But in terms of my ranking, I would of course put Dave Bautista first, then John Cena, and then The Rock after
Rock
a
bottom?
bit of a gap. But
Yeah.
we'll see about the Smashing Machine. Maybe you can change my opinion.
Yeah. So the thing with John Cena versus The Rock is John Cena is willing to make fun of himself. Like The Rock is too self-serious. John Cena in season 1 is running around in tighty whities, playing November Rain,
Right.
crying, like doing silly stuff, talking to Eagly. The Rock would never do that. So the first season really endeared me to John Cena as an actor, and there's some emotional stuff in season 1 and 2. He might be creeping up on Dave. I still give Dave the edge, but I think he's really good in this show.
When Leota says in this season, Mike, that she believes in anything because she saw an eagle hug a man one time.
Yeah, and that's like so sincere.
Yeah.
Incredible.
And I think, John Cena is in on the joke. Like, he's willing to make fun of himself. And even when he does press, like he'll go on the Jimmy Kimmel show, he'll be in full costume as Peacemaker, and he's willing to, come out that way. And just, so like, he's willing to make fun of himself and not take himself seriously and stuff that you couldn't really imagine The Rock doing. So I agree with that for sure.
Yeah. He's definitely more likable, and it was a huge part of why I enjoyed season 1 was being so surprised by his performance and the character of Chris Smith. And so I was really stoked for season 2, even though I didn't rewatch season 1. Like, I'm a fan of Peacemaker, a character I knew nothing about, so yeah, I'm locked in.
And now, of course, we have James Gunn's DCU fully transitioned to this connected universe where we have James Gunn making the Superman movie, making Creature Commandos, making this show, all within a period of like 18 months. Even going back to 2023, he made Guardians of the Galaxy 3. So he's been working a lot. And I think that might show a little bit with this show where it's like, okay, this is a guy who's been writing a million different things, in charge of a whole connected universe. And I think it shows a little bit that maybe this doesn't have the follow through because he was so busy with Superman and with other stuff that maybe this didn't get his full attention. So I'll just say that up top.
Okay. Was there anything else we want to talk about Peacemaker John Cena before we get into season 2, or do we cover it, you think? I think that yeah.
Yeah, I know. I think let's jump into it.
All right, let me unfold this weird football thing, slide some dials around, put it in the door, and we'll be back right after this with Peacemaker season 2. Eagly. No ham.
We're back here on Normies Like Us. In fact, we're as back as Michael Rooker, longtime James Gunn collaborator, who of course played Savant and died in The Suicide Squad, and yet is back as Red St. Wild, world-renowned eagle hunter in this season.
I mean, has there ever been a James Gunn project that Michael Rooker was not in? That's really the question.
He refuses.
Interesting.
I mean, season 2, I was excited for it. Leading into it with the trailers and stuff, it was supposed to be, like I said, a more introspective look into the character of Christopher Smith and everything he's gone through. And so I like that idea of it. What about you guys?
Yeah, season 1, he's kind of coming from having done the Suicide Squad. He has like guilt over the Rick Flag thing. He's starting to think, I thought I was doing the right thing, but it turns out Amanda Waller had me doing some bad stuff. So he's trying to figure out if he can become a real hero. So he's wrestling with his past. So by the end of season 1, he has found some type of heroicism within himself, and he's found this kind of family with Vigilante and the
11th Street
Kids, Hardcourt, and everybody. Yeah. So that's kind of that. Now this is a little bit
found
more
family because his real family, of course, he has super racist dad, a brother that dragon he accidentally killed as a child, and so this is kind of a recurring thing with his character that gets into it this season, where it's like everything he touches kind of goes to shit, right? With the Rick Flag thing, with his brother, that's a reoccurring theme in his life, right?
Yeah, so that's kind of where he's going to get pushed in that direction. Is, do I deserve happiness, or am I just a big problem? Would the world be better if I wasn't in it? Kind of thing is what he's doing.
Right.
And we get a little bit more diving in with other characters too, like because of going against Amanda Waller. Hardcourt lost her job at the agency. Leota's having a rough thing with her girlfriend. The relationship's not great because she's still doing the spy stuff, and she's not supposed to do that long term.
Just got back from I think it's her
fiance.
Just got back from the Minecraft world. She was stuck in the Minecraft world
with Jack Black.
Yeah.
I got a lot on my plate. Okay,
I brought all you that lava chicken.
Steve. Yeah, we had that hot lava chicken.
That's right. You just need to use your imagination, babe.
Everybody's going through a hard time. Real quick, just kind of jumping on my first thoughts here. Question for you guys. Are we doing a Gen V episode?
I
think we might be, yeah.
We might be.
We might be in December. It might be a couple weeks after the show is over, kind of like this show, just because of scheduling things.
Yeah,
but
right.
We've all been watching.
Well, then, my soft thoughts for that as well, because basically I have the exact same criticism for that show as I do this one. And that, Jacob, you're talking about the half-baked nature of it all. I absolutely agree. I think that one of my favorite creatives working right now has too much on his plate from running a company, as well as deciding that he needs to create everything for that company.
Yeah.
Probably not the best idea ever. Now, my comparison to Gen V, and not really spoilers for Gen V. I guess it's spoilers in the sense that there's a twist, in that telling someone there's a twist or whatever. But both these shows basically spend about 6 episodes where I'm pretty happy watching them. I like hanging out. I like the vibe. They seem to be building towards something that I keep saying to myself, well, it's not going to be that. I mean, that's the most obvious thing on the planet. And then it happens, and it kind of completely ruins the season for me. Where I'm like, that's what we were doing? That sucks. And I'm kind of left at a place where I really did not enjoy this season of Peacemaker by just seeing the whole scope of what this was, which to me is really not a lot of content.
Well, I'll say this. Yeah, I think the main problem I have with the season, because I was into it like you, I was into it for the first several episodes, waiting for something to happen. And I think the biggest problem with it is pacing. It has bad pacing problems where it's like it's almost trying to stretch out the plot to fit the number of episodes when it really some episodes it's like, well, nothing really happened that episode and I thought more was going to happen. And then when you get to the reveal, it's like, yeah, that was obvious. I've been waiting for that for like 3 episodes. And then the whole reveal, which we'll talk about in a little bit, is like over within 1.5 episodes. You're like, wait, that's it?
So it didn't matter.
Yeah. And then the finale, of course, which somewhat divisive reactions online and such, because people say it's actually one of the worst finales of all time because it didn't have enough going on in it and just felt like
anything.
Yeah, so I don't know if I totally like agree because I didn't hate the finale, but it's also just like I expected more from the season. I think part of that is just the burnout from writing. You know, he wrote a whole movie called Superman that came out like a couple months before this,
That
and
had
so obviously,
Peacemaker out.
yeah, and I think obviously he's in over his head a little bit with regards to not delegating some of this. Like, did he really need to write this show and Superman and the Creature Commandos show, which is a whole other thing, and you know, also running the whole DC studios. Basically, he's the Kevin Feige of DC, but also if Kevin Feige was like writing the Avengers movies and
It's
had like
scoot
direct
over
creative control over everything.
Yeah, like let me
Yeah.
sit at the laptop for a minute. I got a couple ideas here, and you're
Right.
oh,
And obviously working very intimately with the Peacemaker cast and crew. I mean, his wife is one of the main characters in this show as well. Harcourt, obviously. So I just think it's a lot to do in such a little amount of time, and maybe his focus wasn't 100% on this all times. And there's some ideas that I liked that felt a little half baked, and maybe could use more time or more something to, make it better. I don't know.
just anchor.
Yeah.
What's
yeah,
that?
You say anchor?
Yeah.
Yeah, just like anchor this just a better idea for a season 2, not to be that mean of a guy, but just like truly something to be like fundamental of like, well, this is what I want to say. I just don't think what we got in this season, I just can't imagine him sitting down and being like, it's going to have so much payoff. You're going to love that none of the characters get along or interact with each other, that they're constantly mad, they're separated. I'm going to end with them separated again. Like, I'm going to explore Chris as a person, but kind of not really, because it's going to be in this fantastical way that doesn't really matter. That does have stakes for him, emotionally or whatever, but like, don't really pay off.
Well, I like the idea of it. Like, it's going to be, it was pitched as like, okay, this is it's less action oriented season. It's more character focused. We're going to really get to the bottom of like who Christopher Smith is. And I think some of that worked, but ultimately it didn't fully pay off or work. And I agree, some of the ensemble, it felt a little short shifted in this season with Adebayo or Economos. It's like what it was really their arcs within this season. Yeah.
Yeah, I think pacing is an issue here. I think, yeah, the general hook was like interesting, like, oh, what's this other world? But then the internet clocked that like immediately. So it took them like 2 episodes to be like, oh, this is Earth X. Spoilers for Peacemaker season 2. But then the show took like 4 episodes to confirm, like, oh, there's like it took like way longer than we knew it the whole time. So it's like maybe that should have happened a lot earlier.
But I like the idea.
Like maybe it's a different twist. Maybe the twist will have a twist. You see it coming so hard.
Yeah.
But the twist wasn't necessarily even the most important part, because I like the idea of him discovering an alternate world where basically his brother's alive. Everything in his life is like better than it's like the opposite of It's a Wonderful Life, where you go to an alternate dimension, you see this is what the best version of me, what that world would look like. My dad loves me, my brother's alive, like I have a happy family, I'm successful in my job, like
everybody cheers
everything's
for me,
great.
I'm a hero.
Yeah. And so I think that's an interesting idea, aside from the twist of what this universe is.
Fighting against, like, mentally, if it truly is him saying, like, I'm fighting against this idea that, like, I deserve more. You know what I mean? Like, this internal, like, why shouldn't I take this? Why shouldn't I get this? I agree with you. That is cool. That is interesting. It's completely undone the second he sees, and again, Mike said spoilers, a mural of Adolf Hitler and he goes, "Oh, I can't stay here." You know, like even if he had had that temptation for 10 minutes after that to go, "Look, I know this is the Hitler planet, but that would be more interesting to me." The fact that he's immediately like, nah, we'll get out of here. It's like, oh, so you can just wipe the slate clean at any moment. Like, again, none of this mattered. It's like, why did we do any of this?
Well, yeah, so that's the twist, obviously, is that this is the Nazi world, which, again, yeah, we already kind of live in the Nazi world now, so it's just
What's
like
the
a more
difference?
Nazi.
It's like,
you know? Like the Nazis are already coming back, like in a major way. It feels
I
like
see
in our real
people
world.
chase people of color through the street all the time when I turn my phone on. It's basically
so I know it's
the only content I get.
Government agencies trying to kidnap people, take them to a secret prison. Yeah, that's happening.
So I know it's like a commentary on like real world events, but it's like we already live in an escalatingly bad world. So like, what's the difference that we go to?
I think it's a farce of our, actual world and stakes. Like it's like a play on like a heightening of it. I don't think it had any of these intentions, and I think it actually comes off weaker by being like, can you imagine if this happened? And us all going, it is happening. What are you talking about? Like, what are you?
It's kind of like
what is this? What if this is ridiculous?
Yeah, with Superman, I don't know if you guys saw some of this stuff recently where obviously people were talking about like, oh, it has such good parallels to like Israel and Palestine within that movie. And then James Gunn saying after the movie comes out, yeah, actually, I wasn't thinking about any of that when I wrote like this. I wrote that before like everything went down and, on October 7th and all that. So that was all completely separate. So it's like, you're actually kind of making your movie worse when you say things like that because, you know what I mean? But, I don't know. Maybe he's trying
to be like, and you shouldn't read it that way. It's like, well, I can read it however I want to read it.
Right. Yeah. It's like, people take those parallels. Like you shouldn't say that they're wrong to see that within that. So he's almost trying to be politically safe or politically correct and not piss anyone off within whatever, community.
Yeah, but he's got woke Superman, so it's like I don't mean that literally, but it's like
no, he does
are elements in Superman that is pushing back against like the narrative of like the standard like Schneider bro.
I definitely think Superman is woke, but maybe not woke enough or as woke as I thought it would be. But still, James Gunn, he's got it's mainstream, like he's trying to appease everyone without pissing anyone off. And I think sometimes you can play it too safe where it's just like, well, now you're not saying anything.
But I think again, like his strength is that you can break down like every one of his films into like a log line of like even messed up freaks can be family as Guardians of the Galaxy. Punk, kindness is punk rock, Superman. The Suicide Squad is literally like America is always the enemy. It's like, like what is this? What is this season? What would you say?
I think you can say, first of all, whatever, political beliefs James Gunn has, I do think that he definitely hates Nazis, which is a good thing. Good. Creature Commandos, again, is very much about how Nazis are bad. There's a whole robot character that kills Nazis in that show.
Peacemaker season 1 is about what losers white supremacists are. It's you live in a trailer park and you think you're better than this. You're nothing. And like Freddie Stroma, Vigilante, my favorite character, who again, Jacob gets nothing to do this entire season. And it sucks. Gets no action, gets nothing interesting. But in the season 1, perfect episode where he's sitting in prison and doing that fucking spiel to the Terminator saying, you fucking, cross-eyed fucking cousin fucker loser, like you white supremacist piece of asshole, you're nothing, you're a fucking loser. And just saying that shit is so perfect.
Yeah. I think that's the problem with this season maybe is that, they have this alternate Nazi world, but you're not saying anything about our world by doing that. So like, what was the point? And then that's not even the main point of that universe. It's really just about Chris Smith's family and stuff and how everything he touches kind of goes to shit. And the Nazi stuff is just kind of secondary to all that. And then they kind of all just leave that world. And that's the last we really
And then it's kind of all revealed to be a trick that it's all actually about using the thing to do something else. And you're like, okay.
And that goes back to the pacing, the weirdness of the pacing issues. And all of a sudden in like the last episode shoving in this whole plot line with Rick Flag Sr., who also I'm going to complain about too, because his character it changes completely from, first of all, Rick Flag Sr., played by
Frank
what's
Grillo.
his name? Frank Grillo, Crossbones, is now in the DC universe. But he was a character in Creature Commandos and portrayed completely differently in terms of like his attitude towards metahumans and stuff. Where now first of all, he has this vendetta against Peacemaker, obviously, for killing his son. But then it's not even really about that. It's about getting this dimension portal thingy so he can use that to find another dimension where he can build a prison for metahumans. And it's like, what?
Yeah, just also Peacemaker, not a metahuman. So what are you angry about?
No.
But Jacob, to your point about pacing, when the last episode has multiple scenes of characters that were introduced one episode beforehand, blasting rails of cocaine with Rick Flag, I'm like, what is this? Like
he's like laughing with laughing with those people while like people are dying under his watch. And so
what is this?
What is his character? Like, is he just a bad guy now?
Mind controlled? Like, what is going on here?
Right. And again, in Creature Commandos, he's the leader of this like offshoot of of Task Force X that's all monsters and people. And it's another sort of found family thing. So it's like to go from that, where he's like he has a found family of metahumans, to like now he wants to imprison all metahumans. It's like totally, completely different. So it's very strange.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't see Creature Commandos, so that didn't really catch me. So looking at it with none of that background, it's like, oh, you didn't want to do what Lex Luthor wanted to do in Superman, which was imprison metahumans. But now you're like, actually, yeah, I do want to imprison metahumans, which was Lex's whole thing.
And that's fine if you want to go that way, but it just feels so abrupt. And even the character of the android lady that's
I will not complain about Bordeaux. No.
No, I like her, but
I refuse.
Her character again is all over the place, and it's like her arc basically starts in the last episode where she's like, "Wait, maybe Rick Flag is a bad guy, and I'm just realizing that now."
I can't. Mike, how dare you? I prefer that Jacob just called her the android. This cyborg, when she just says that shit halfway through the season, I'm like, okay, that's good to know. I guess.
Fair.
Yeah,
I'm biased.
Yeah, it just seems like again, pacing problem is really weird because there's whole episodes where it seems like nothing happens, and then they throw all this plot at you in the last episode where it's like setting up future stuff for the universe, but also trying to be the season finale, maybe series finale, because there's no plans at this point to make another season of Peacemaker, at least in the near future.
Maybe a Checkmate spinoff show, which is a DC organization. It's not a private investigative agency. It's another Amanda Waller run underground organization. So interesting sort of twist there. But Jacob, you watched Slither for our Halloween.
Yes.
A James Gunn directed movie. Mike, I think you just told us. Did you just
Off
watch
pod,
Slither?
Yeah, I just watched it today.
Yeah, that's
James
crazy.
Gunn.
That's wild.
Also starring Michael Rooker, and a very similar to season 1, where they had like the butterflies and everything, very similar to the aliens.
Very true. Very true.
Now, slugs
just in that,
in
that man's work, when we were talking about that, I think I said in that episode, or maybe a prior one, maybe the Superman episode actually, where I was like, I think Creature Commandos is the worst thing he's done. I amend that. I think this season is the worst thing James Gunn has done, and I don't know how you feel about that, or Mike, if you want to weigh in now, having seen Slither.
Yeah, I mean, it's still same thing with Slither. You know, weirdos can put it like, if I'm not good enough to connect with people, yes, you are. Kind of let the walls down, even though that's part of Slither with Nathan Fillion and whatever. But I think zoomed out, like again, when you experience this linearly, like episode by episode, yeah, there's big pacing issues. So, you know, when I zoom out and I look at what is it about, at least focusing on Chris Smith in this case, it's like a nature-nurture thing. It's like when we go to the world where he's loved by the public and his dad and his brother, right? The version of Chris that's supposed to be living there is like a huge asshole. You know, he's like, does drugs. He's like a narcissist. He's like a huge asshole. So that's who Chris would have become in that world. The Chris we have is best friends with a gay woman of color and vigilante. And he has all these people around him who've informed
what's interesting.
How Chris became who he is to us. Yeah. So it's a contrast.
And I think the interesting thing too is like his dad in the alternate universe is like a not racist nice guy in the racist world. So I thought that was an interesting idea where and that's kind of, I think that twist is more interesting than the initial twist of it being Nazi universe, because the twist of, oh, actually, what's his name? The White Dragon or whatever.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
the Red Dragon now. No, the Red Dragon.
Yeah, or whatever.
The
it
Red
is.
Dragon.
Blue Dragon.
Oh, this
whatever.
guy's actually not a bad guy. And he's like, listen, look, I try to do the best I can in this world. Look, you can't fix every injustice, but like,
Oh, your world's so perfect.
Yeah, it's like, I just try to stop.
And I
crime.
like that moment. That was one of my favorite moments in the season because I was like,
Absolutely.
oh, you know what? I just assumed he would be like a super Nazi guy, but interestingly enough, he's like the one good guy in this world, whereas in our world, he was like a piece of shit KKK guy.
Yeah,
I like Robert Patrick. He's an incredible actor, obviously. But back to something Mike just said, because I think that's what led us to what we're at. And I think now I'm kind of like picking up on like my issues, because you were like, Christopher Smith, he does drugs, he just does these things, he's an interesting character, he's got these interesting colorful friends, right? And you're like, oh, okay, the things that made season 1 work, Christopher Smith, who he is, we literally take that away in this one. The whole season is Christopher Smith pretends to be someone he's not. Literally details like, everybody loved the Wigwam song. What if I didn't have the Wigwam song this time? What if we did a new dance for season 2? What if we had Foxy Shazam, who I've clearly fallen in love with Eric Nally, because Eric Nally's also the creative force behind the Mighty Mighty Crab Joys.
Yes.
Like,
I wanted to mention that.
But
Foxy Shazam.
But even
Colin.
those small details, I want you to say this, Jacob, but just to finish my point of even these small details, it's like, it almost seems like he's going like, oh, you like that? What if I do this? Where it's like, James Gunn, why are you like going against your better interests here, or like what people liked? But yeah,
but you also don't want to
Foxy. Yeah.
I mean, first of all, you don't want to do more of the same, and then it gets,
Yes, very
it's not
true.
different
It's
enough, so people complain about that. I don't mind the song change and the intro change as much as I like the first season intro, and I love that they do this whole dance routine featuring the entire cast. It's very funny to me.
I watch it all the time. It's like, even this one is good, the season 2.
Yes.
And it's so emotional. Like it's really cool. The LED light pass behind him is really cool.
Yeah, I love the intro in this season, and I love the song. Cincinnati's own Foxy Shazam, Eric Nally, like you mentioned, lead singer.
Friend of the show. Shout out to past guest Sideburns on our Stephen King episode, who worked on a couple Foxy Shazam music videos way back in the day.
Nice.
Yes, and I was going to mention that we have our own connection to Foxy Shazam in that we have a running joke within our fantasy football group, and this goes years back, where we would it's basically our version of the Rickroll, where we try to get people to click on the music video for the Macklemore song Downtown, featuring Eric Nally of Foxy Shazam. And it's a great song. Check it out. It's called Downtown. And this kind of became an inside joke with our fantasy football crew, where we would send each other links and try to get them to click on it unknowingly. And it became our little inside joke, but that is also Foxy Shazam. So
now I also think he's doing like things to set himself up for failure, James Gunn, where he will tweet things. And another thing we should talk about, there's literally, I think it's called The Hour of Peace, the official Peacemaker podcast. There's the post show on HBO called like Peace to Peace or something like that. Like it's like so overexposed. Like, James Gunn, you have to give it up to him. He loves to talk and just talk and talk and talk. But Jacob, he puts out this tweet that's like, in the finale, there's going to be a huge cameo. People are going to freak out. It's going to be awesome. And everybody was so excited for Superman to show up. And then, of course, it was just they watch a performance of Foxy Shazam sing the theme song. And you're like, James, nobody's going to like that.
Yeah, that goes to another thing where you can say, James Gunn, famous for his needle drops and his music moments where he'll just have the perfect needle drop that'll fit the mood perfectly. I think it gets a little overused in this season, where he's falling back on these needle drops 2-3 times an episode, where it's like, another music montage where not much is happening, but we're seeing the characters with some emotional music. And it's like, I think people were getting tired of that throughout this season, especially in the season finale. But also about Foxy Shazam, I do want to say, big fan of the intro this season. I love that song, "Oh Lord." Such a good song. I've just been listening to it in my own time because I liked it so much, and I never skip it when I watch the episodes. I would always watch the intro because it's just so good. And I will say, James Gunn says of Foxy Shazam, who's worked with a bunch, as he said, they're the Mighty Crab Joys in Superman. James Gunn, I have a quote here. He said he's described him as objectively the greatest rock and roll band in the world.
Wow.
So there you go.
Objective.
So
There
he
you
loves
go.
Foxy Shazam.
The opening lyrics are Julian, which is Eric Nally's son. He's talking directly to his son. He says, "The world's going to eat you alive," is what he says to his son. I love it.
It's a song for his
much.
son. He's telling him how bad the world is, but you just got to keep trying and like keep doing your thing and all that. It's like a song about a father to his son telling them how to sort of get along in the world. And I think that's fun. And again, James Gunn, known for his like eclectic music taste. He's always pulling in these 80s hair metal, whatever, Wigwam, like you said, from season 1, making that a hit.
Hanoi Rocks.
Yeah. So, and then there's even another.
Throw your dog the invisible bone. That is how that opening ended every time.
Right.
Yep.
But I think it jumped the shark a little bit this season, where he has that one song that comes in that's like, "You're fucking my heart in the ass" or something.
Oh,
it's like the chorus of that song, like, "You're fucking my heart in the ass." And I'm like, okay, is this necessary? Like, what is happening?
Right.
And then in the season finale, not only is there a Foxy Shazam live performance, it also flashbacks to this incident, this sort of inciting incident on a boat where Harcourt and Peacemaker had sex, and there's a lot of fallout emotionally from that. And they're going to see another 80s hair metal band that I had never heard of. Do you remember that? Like on a boat?
I remember that, but
in the city where you can just walk up to a ferry and be like, "Oh, there's a concert.
There's a live performance.
Let's get on this boat."
No tickets.
It's like, no,
nothing. Yeah.
That's not how that works.
So that's once again James Gunn
That's
taking
the
this
same
forgotten
episode,
80s
Jacob?
band. Yeah, because they show this flashback a bunch of times of them.
All season, it's built up to what
Yes.
happened between Harcourt
On the boat.
and Peacemaker on the boat. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And then they go back to that same boat, and it's Foxy Shazam performing.
Just it's like what happened? They watched the intro of the show you're watching. It's like, well, that's good. That's nice for them.
Yeah, and I do like Foxy Shazam, so shout out to
I love them. I love them. I was
Cincinnati's own.
The second you hear his voice, you know who it is. I was stunned when it was the opening, but it doesn't.
He's like a modern day Freddie Mercury. He's
is.
this generation's Freddie Mercury. We love him for that.
I was a little bummed when they started and it was a new song, but then by the time there's 3 episodes in, I'm just walking around my house like, Julian, like in my head, I'm just like, you know what? I actually really like this, so it grew on me.
Yeah,
there's more wrong to your
more
right.
emotional.
Would you say that to your son?
If you want to keep it real, Dr. Phil, because this show it's kind of thematic, like Wigwam was. It's like, Christopher Smith, this world's it's rough, but you can't just ditch it. You have to keep going, right? You can't just
I think it's a more emotional song for a more emotional season.
Mm.
They did a whole new choreography to it and everything. And fun fact, because I watched the behind the scenes of how they shot the dance sequence, which is very interesting to watch. Did you know the choreographer for both this season and last season for these intros, the choreographer is Alan Tudyk's wife.
Oh, I did know that.
Oh, no, that's cool.
That's great.
Yeah. So random fact there. And the other funny thing about the intro this season, I have to mention, they introduced a Fortnite collab. I don't know if you guys heard about this. Peacemaker Fortnite collab where you can get Peacemaker as a skin. And there's an emote of him doing the part of the dance from this season.
Yeah.
But it was controversial because after the twist of this season, people are like, oh, there's like they do a hidden swastika with their arms. And that's sort of like foreshadowing.
Because, those characters were from the alternate world, yeah.
Well, I think it's just foreshadowing what's coming in this season, that they do you can kind of see the way he like moves his arms. It looks like a swastika, right?
The first move he
And-
does is a salute. It starts out like this, and he puts one arm down and then goes into the whole dance. Like, it's crazy.
Right.
Yeah.
And like at one point he like moves his arms in a way that looks like a swastika. Well,
Yeah.
that was part of the Fortnite emote, which then became a controversy because they're like, you can't have kids doing this swastika emote within Fortnite. So then they changed the emote to be like a different part of the dance, or change it enough that it didn't look like a swastika.
Just fucking go mask off. Just start selling Hitler as a skin in Fortnite. Who fucking cares?
Man.
The world's
Right.
over.
The
I don't
world's already
care
ended.
about anything anymore.
Yeah.
It's about making more money.
But anyway, I just had to mention that because I thought
Yeah,
that was
I
funny.
forgot that I did see that once. They're like, oh, we got to get this out of the game.
Yeah.
Seeing
Um,
Rooker's face, that Rooker is now also in the intro, and he looks so serious. Incredible.
I do
A
like that they have the
comedian-
entire cast in these dances. Like the smallest characters will be in this dance. Even Robert Patrick, who they have with his mask on doing some crazy moves, and he takes the mask off. Obviously, it's not him doing those dance moves. He's
Not
like
a
80
chance.
years old.
Right.
But,
In the opening,
yeah.
we've also got some of the new characters like you're mentioning. We've got Tim Meadows, noted SNL comedian, great performer. Not a character I love on this. Honestly, it's
You're not a
too
fan of
jokey.
bird
It's
blindness?
too what?
This
what
is another
this? What is
another
this?
complaint I have. It's too improv-y, where they're just like, yeah, just kind of do whatever you want, and it's kind of all the actors are. I don't know if it's improv or they're just doing jokes that are in the script, but it just feels too loose,
No,
and it's like,
dog.
cut it down.
There,
Dog. We don't need.
there
yeah.
are scenes where you can tell him and sorry, who played
Economos.
Economos?
Steve Agee.
Steve Agee,
Steve Agee, thank you, Steve. You can tell, and Agee has been James Gunn's friend.
another
for
James Gunn friend.
20
Yes.
years at this point, like truly, like great friends in Hollywood, where you just feel him being like, I didn't have time to write this. You and Rooker and Meadows,
Just go for it. Yeah.
whatever
Just
you
improv.
guys say is going to be great. And it's just like,
Vigilante. You guys want to hear some owl facts?
yeah.
Those
Yeah.
bits
But what
going
if,
on way
what
too
if
long.
none of the animal facts he gave were right? Wouldn't that be a
Yeah.
funny through
What if
line?
you
And
didn't
it's
know
like,
any of
yeah,
them? Yeah.
What if we
I
come back to
guess.
that bit like 5 times throughout
Yeah.
this season? Would that be funny?
You asked me to read these. That's the best line is when Economist says, it's like, this was your idea to play this game.
Yeah.
Right.
Like,
But
you're
yeah,
not
4
I don't
or
wanna
5
say-
times in.
it's right.
I don't want to say none of the comedy worked for me in the season, because there were some funny moments that I liked. Even the bird blindness, although it's done. The problem is every joke in this is like done to death to the point
15
where it's not
times.
funny anymore.
Right. Yeah.
The first time the bird blindness, and because it is kind of part of the plot with Eagly and stuff, I did find that funny at first, but then it's like
Yeah.
it drags on. And the Michael Rooker stuff, the whole subplot with him is like, why is this in the show? Like, this is
And
so
it's one of these things again
weird.
where it's like he owns the DC universe. He gets to decide when any of these characters get used. Why is he inventing characters like Red Saint Wild,
Right.
a
The
world-renowned
Eagle Hunter.
eagle hunter? What is this? Why are we
Yeah.
wasting our time?
spending
with
so
this?
much time on this for this. Like, he's trying to track down Eagly, who turns out to be the prime eagle or something.
Mhm.
None of it matters to like most of the plot, but there's whole side plots dedicated to him hunting Eagly. Yeah, and again, it's like, yeah, I guess we need a character for Michael Rooker to play, but it has to be an original character, not a DC guy that they could bring in or something. Yeah, it feels a little unfocused. I'll say.
I will say when I saw that character, because Michael Rooker, I think, is having fun with it. I was like, oh, I like that Eagly has a villain. It doesn't have anything to do with the main plot, but I personally, I it's like, oh, okay, I'm okay with this. And it doesn't mean anything to the main story, but I like the
Right,
Yeah,
I do
like
like how
stuff.
everyone's like, "Oh, you hunt endangered eagles? You're like a piece of shit," and like everybody hates him, like Economos and stuff. Like, I do find that funny, but
And
it's
he's like
like maybe a
appropriating
little too
Native
much
American
time.
shit. Yeah, for sure.
Funny,
Yeah.
even that a great criticism. White people, and when he's like, and of course this will bring rest to the Native American people. And Steve Agee's like, that's the thing.
That's the thing.
It's like it's great.
got
But
a
Mike,
giant
you're
gun.
saying like, great, give Eagly a villain. Eagly is a CGI character. Give one of the actors anything to do.
Yeah.
Give Vigilante an arch nemesis.
Yes.
How funny would an entire season be of, oh, no, I can't hang out with you this week, Peacemaker. My arch nemesis, supervillain is after me again. And with the weird, obsessive, freak that Vigilante is, who is his supervillain? Like what?
Right.
Like what would their weird
What would-
relationship be?
And I think
The
the
And
one
he yells at his mom.
He just hates his mom.
the one
yeah.
thing they do with Vigilante in the season is him meeting his alternate self, and them like being the exact same. I kind of like that stuff.
The one thing they do this season, and the one joke I liked is, what does he do when he kills an entire street gang? Which
Where he
is
just takes
he
all the
just
money and cocaine,
takes all their
puts
stuff,
it in a
and he
room.
has a mountain of cocaine and a mountain of money, and he's
Yeah.
so
I can't
law-abiding.
spend
that
any
he's
of that
like,
money. That's blood
no,
money.
that's how dealing. And they're all like, yeah, right. And the minute he turns, everybody's
Yep,
taking
yep.
cocaine and money.
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
That's
I
a
like
very
that
funny
stuff.
bit. And there is funny stuff. Like again, even the Eagle Hunter stuff, I like when he pulls out his gun and it's like a comically long musket. Like
Like
that is a
12 feet
very
long.
good visual bit.
Meeting the bird shit though, it's like, yeah.
Well, that's again
Yeah.
like, yeah, he's a
It's
fool.
like an hour of that episode is him eating the bird shit.
Right. And then seeing like a vision of the prime eagle and all this stuff.
And then
It's
like
a little, yeah.
if I accidentally like don't click the episode off quick enough, truly I get a teaser of James Gunn in a chair with the like super professional, I'm an artist pose, going like, and coming up on Peacemaker Talk, the after show, James Gunn going, well, we get some real evidence that in fact maybe Eagly is the prime eagle. Where I'm like, just
Yeah,
like,
great. Who
I
cares?
can't turn you off fast
Yeah.
enough. What are you talking about? What are you talking about?
That's just
Again,
another. Well, I was gonna say
you know-
a symptom of The Walking Dead when they had The Talking Dead. Every show's got to have an after show or a podcast.
right.
It all started there.
we
but anyway.
we gotta dissect the episode in a podcast. But look, I'm a James Gunn head. I'm whatever the Snyder cultists are, I'm that with James Gunn. I'm a big
Snyder
They
fan
call
of
them
James Gunn.
gun tards, just so you know.
Gun
Hey, I'm a gun tard. Load the gun.
Yep.
I think he's and I say this out of a place of, I like and respect everything he does and want him to do well. I think he's gotten a little full of himself in this position of like, I run everything at DC. I need to put my personal stamp on
I
everything.
run Hollywood.
Yeah.
Kind of vibes.
And it's like, okay, man, maybe just focus on like, I don't know, you can delegate some stuff, focus on Superman. Like that's obviously the most important thing you're working on right now. It's a major motion picture versus Peacemaker season 2. I think you took on too many things at once, and it definitely shows within the season with the unevenness and the pacing problems. And that's not to say I hate it though, because I actually like some stuff in the season. I just wish it was a little
Tighter.
more cohesive. Yeah.
More
I liked a lot of stuff. I liked him trying out for the Justice Gang. I think that sets him up on a pretty great path of like introspection. I liked the weird twist of, where did this dimensional thing come from? My redneck dad shot an alien, and now we have this thing. I didn't like that
too.
like we never get anything else about that weird neighbor he has in the extra
that alien
dimension.
guy.
I wanted to see something
He
with
just keeps
that
putting
guy.
the dead rats in the incinerator or whatever. And he's like,
And
I
also-
wave to that guy every day. He's an
And
asshole.
he's a fucking asshole. He never weighs back. Fuck you, dude. Show me some respect. The thing that Peacemaker's arguing with Vigilante, and Vigilante says, well, I guess your dad had to have been smart for being a racist. He made all this. That's when we find out this stuff, that he didn't make all this. And he
Right.
says, well, he made your helmets, right? And Peacemaker goes, that's a long story. Do we ever get a resolution to that?
I don't
No,
think so. That
I don't
might
think
be
explicitly.
something coming up later. But I think I do like the
Later
explanation of
what?
like, just in the DCU, I don't know. But like the explanation of like, oh yeah, of course this dumb redneck wouldn't be able to invent a portal dimensional doorway. So of course they found it and like stole it from an alien, because
Holding
that makes
universe.
way more sense. This very powerful item.
The fucking line of, I've only moved it twice. My dad made me do it because he was scared it would blow up and kill him. It's like, that is awesome Peacemaker backstory again about how abused he was growing up, how his dad fucking hated him.
Right. No, I think that's the strongest stuff in the season is when it's focused on Chris Smith and his relationship with his family. And I like the dichotomy of like going to the Nazi world, being like, oh, everything is great here. My family's great. Like I live in this mansion. My dad is like nice to me and loves me. My brother's here and loves me. And of course that would be like super alluring to be like, I can leave my old shitty life behind and become who I feel like I was always meant to be. And he obviously he blames himself for what happened with his brother because his dad, like
Blame
obviously
him.
it's not his fault. He was a kid. It was an accident, right? But it was ingrained in him by his dad that you killed your brother.
Mm-hmm.
And so to go to this world where his brother's alive and his dad loves him, like that's the interesting stuff. And I feel like it only kind of hits the surface of that and doesn't really
When
delve into
it's
that deeper.
when the way that it's presented is it's half an episode long of that, and then the other half of every episode has to be him leaving that universe, coming back to ours. Rick Flag saying, "Get me that doorway, get me the Scooby Gang," and them all just going like, "Zoinks, we got to move the door again." And you're like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
right, this
The cat and
is the
mouse.
second time I've seen you do this. Do something. Either
Right.
make the stakes of he's there and he's gone and he's not fucking coming back and he's spending months and it's just Chris again being an active character, learning, making the choices of actually this world doesn't work for me, or make it this fucking MacGuffin thing that it's all about trying to get this doorway. You can't have it fucking both ways. Like instead it's just this season where again it just spins its fucking wheels.
Mm-hmm. The strength
Yeah.
of this show is the ensemble and the moments between them. But yeah, plot wise, it's very uneven and doesn't
It's
want nowhere to dig its
the
heels in.
fucking ensemble and the moments between them. And yet, Mike, I think the best moment this season is when Adebayo has a conversation with Judo Master, like these characters
Yeah.
that I don't expect to interact, where they're like, hey, it's hard being gay and being a person of color in any universe. And you're like,
Yeah.
yeah, it is.
When you want to play Scrabble, it's called Scrabble.
It's
Scrabble.
called Scrabble.
Yeah.
Everything's when he says everything's kind of dumb.
Yeah.
Everything here is kind of dumb.
The
They're
band
called
names are spelled
Cheerios, but
different.
it's spelled weird. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the
Oh,
OH.
Vigilante takes the box and is just laughing because it's so dumb.
Yeah, he's like, I'm bringing this back. When
This
My
is
dad's
crazy.
not gay in this
this is
universe.
so dumb. Yeah.
It's so good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I like the joke of like, yeah, Vigilante being the exact same in this other universe, except of course he's joined the terrorist group, which is actually just like the anti-Nazi terrorist
Sons of
group.
Liberty, which were a pretty good villain in the comics and used in the Supergirl TV show, because there is a
Right.
character called the Son of Liberty who's kind of like a figurehead of these groups. So I kind of kept expecting like that character would come up
Yeah.
at some point or something, and then like be
Nah, it's
revealed
not
to maybe be a different. Yeah, we're not doing it.
We get
But again, the
Christopher-
reveal.
Yeah.
We got Rick Flag returned this season. We get Rick Flag
Yes.
Jr. again, right? And the whole time I kept thinking, oh, he'll really pay off. He'll be revealed to be like the head of the vigilantes in this universe. And Chris will feel so guilty again that he's, but no.
Yeah, no, they didn't really
Joe's
do anything
boyfriend.
with him in the alternate
didn't
universe
do
where it's like he
anything
shows
with
up, but he's just like there. And then even alternate Harcourt is like not interesting at all. It's like, oh, she like wears dresses in this universe instead of like all black clothes or whatever. Okay. But I think, the reveal of like, oh, Rick Flag and Harcourt had a pre-existing relationship. I think that's an interesting angle that they didn't do much with either, where it's like, oh yeah, because the whole crux of it is like Chris Smith is in love with Harcourt. Harcourt doesn't know how to feel about all this because she's grown to really like Chris Smith as a person, but also she knows that he killed Rick Flag Jr. and she kind of can't she can't ignore that or like forgive him for that.
My
So like
friend.
that's interesting stuff. It feels like they tried to touch on that, but it just doesn't feel like fully realized either.
Right. Because we do get Harcourt's going and getting in bar fights all the time because she just wants to feel something, right? And,
Yeah.
like you do get the payoff at the end. It's just stretched out where she's like, I'm fucked up. Nobody should be near me. And he's like, I love you anyway. Like that kind of James Gunnism.
It's all very
It's there.
powerful when he's crying and saying, I'm poison. You're like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's great.
But the ultimate crux of him deciding I'm leaving my old world behind and going to live this new life, the last thing he tries to do is come to Harcourt and be like, look, did that mean anything to you? What happened on that boat? Did that mean anything? Like, because he has obviously these feelings for Harcourt and she doesn't really know she has obviously feelings for him, but also is trying to distance herself because of everything. So that's the last straw for like, well, if I can't be with Harcourt in this world, I'll go to this new world where I am, I'm in a relationship with Harcourt and all this stuff.
And a really cool scene that he knows all the protocols of like where he's gonna get like shot by. So he's like constantly just like walking with like young ladies and stuff.
Yeah.
And like, oh, let me help you, madam. Do you remember when Rick Flag Jr. was dating archaeologist June Moon, aka the Enchantress?
What? No.
They were dating?
Yes, in that fucking movie, Suicide Squad.
I haven't seen Suicide Squad in a million years. I cannot remember anything about that movie.
You just called all of us. You called me and Mike on a conference call. You said, I just got out of Tron Ares where I saw my favorite Joker actor, Jared Leto, as the star. You were raving about how you love Suicide Squad, not the Suicide Squad.
I said, this is my friend Katana. Her sword can steal your soul or whatever.
She's got my back.
Oh, Kumiko?
Yeah. But
I've never
forgot
seen
so
that
much
one.
about that
I've
movie.
only seen
Never
the
seen it.
Suicide
That's wild,
Squad.
Mike, god damn you, Mike.
I told you I
Make
never
us
saw
do
any
an
of the.
episode
I
on
saw
it.
none of the Snyder Batmans
That's right.
or anything.
You
I
never
didn't
saw
watch
Man of
any that.
Steel.
Yeah,
That's
no,
amazing.
I avoided it till James Gunn showed up.
Yeah, that's amazing. But Harcourt, again, like people say, like, oh, it's James Gunn nepotism, putting his wife as the main one of the main characters in the show. I think she's good in this role. Like
She's great.
I think she delivers. Yeah,
Holland,
she got jacked for this season.
Yes.
Yeah, she's a great physical actor. Like when she's getting in those bar fights and stuff, like you could see her in an action role. So I have no
She gets
complaints in
diagnosed
terms of
with
like
toxic masculinity. Like that's a funny scene.
Yeah.
Like, you
What
have toxic
the
masculinity.
He starts beating that guy up.
Yeah.
But people online, will make fun of like, oh, James Gunn like must have some kind of fetish of like watching John Cena like
God.
romance his wife in the show or
My
whatever.
favorite meme that I sent you guys was the
Yes.
cock so jacked meme or whatever.
Are you sure?
James Gunn,
Yeah.
yeah. Are you sure?
Yes.
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 But like she fits the
He's got
character.
the director's
so I
chair.
think,
He's living it.
Yeah.
It's good, Mike. It's good.
and that's a greater criticism of James Gunn you can make. Is like, yeah, obviously he puts all his friends and people that he knows in all of his shows. I don't necessarily have a problem.
It doesn't
everybody
get
does
you
it.
anything. You're Steve Agee. It's not like you get the best storyline. You get nothing to do still. Like it doesn't mean anything.
But even like that guy, like that scientist guy that worked with Lex Luthor that comes in,
Oh yeah, that guy comes back.
like that big tall guy, like he's like been in a bunch of James Gunn projects too. So it's like, yeah, James Gunn just likes to work with all these random like extras and actors that he knows that he puts in all his projects. I think that's, part of the James Gunn charm.
I looked the Otis, the black guy who's also part of Lex's crew, right? Who also comes in this season, was a Ravager.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that other guy, the tall guy with the glasses, he was in Guardians and in bit parts and stuff. So yeah, he likes to reuse the same actors. And of course, we do get a Lex Luthor cameo. So how can you complain about no significant
like
cameos?
You know what? And Nicholas Hoult is still dialed in. It goes to show you that he kind of has his hand on this thing. And we, of course, now live in a world where we know the next film is going to be called Man of Tomorrow and is seemingly not a Superman movie, but a Lex Luthor movie.
Yes. Well, if you remember when we talked about Superman, I had a pitch of Superman and Lex Luthor having to team up together in the sequel to fight Brainiac. So maybe James Gunn, listen to our podcast.
Noted listener, James Gunn.
It's the only thing he has time for. He's writing a million shows and movies, but he takes 1 hour, 2 hours a week to listen to us. It's just,
I gotta check those my Normies.
That's his piece. Yeah. I like Lex,
so we
though,
get
if
Lex.
I can just say that. Like,
It's always good.
He gets a sweetheart deal. He's going to get moved to a cushy prison. It's kind of leading up to him transitioning to being an ally of some sort potentially.
Right.
Yeah.
Becoming, he's more of a anti-hero or a mixed character than just a straight evil character.
How do you guys feel about this? The two projects we've got in the DCU now are all about pocket universes.
Yeah. I'm not loving that.
Well, I think it's the tech in the world that has, consequences on the world. So they're using, because obviously a dimensional portal would be a very powerful thing to have.
It was introduced in season 1 of Peacemaker, never spoken on. It's just his thing his dad had, and we all assume that he made it. And you're like, that's funny coloring. Then in Superman, he uses it again, and you're just kind of like, oh,
it's like a different version.
It is, but you're like immediately like, oh, this Lex is an actual super scientist. Like I've never seen like a Lex Luthor that outside of fucking real estate deals was like, haha, Superman, I've created a formula or something. Like he's actually doing fucking super science. What has he done in the background? Made a fucking portal that lets him go from here to there, and he uses it to punk this asshole and cloning and other stuff. And you're like, oh, that's
but I do
really
believe that Lex
coloring.
Invented that portal device and everything, because he is a super.
Got a couple bosons,
guy.
like they say. He used a super collider in Smallville or in Metropolis or whatever, and did it. And they're like, but it creates like dirty, whatever they called it, like dirty bismuth or whatever it does. Like it's unstable. His is perfect. But to then have the next season, the third entry of your DCU, have the entire plot be around pocket universes. That's when I'm like, okay, is this like your one fucking idea? What is this? Why are we talking about
I don't mind it because the government wanting, or Argus, whoever, knowing that Peacemaker has that in his possession, obviously they would want it because it's a very powerful device. So to me, it makes sense.
All out from a thing to a thing, which again shows you a big universe and then it ties together. But isn't it too repetitive, Mike? Do you have a weigh-in thought here?
Yeah, like I get how it ties in because they're like monitoring for those type of signals phenomenon. I get why they'd be monitoring for that, but to end this with now Rick Flag has a dimension prison, so we're going to be dealing with this more. I don't mind it being in Peacemaker season 2.
Now we're going to have another thing.
Well, I think the real test with the DCU, because so far in the DCU we've only gotten James Gunn projects, but the idea with the DCU, and he's said this multiple times, like when other creators make their things, like when Lanterns comes out on HBO, it's not going to necessarily feel like a James Gunn project because it's going to be we don't have, basically this is what he said, we don't have a house style, kind of taking some shots at the MCU, like not everything has to have the same tone or style and fit in this universe. So when we see things like Lanterns or we see things like the Supergirl movie coming out, that'll be the real test for the DCU to see, like, does this feel different in an interesting way to what James Gunn has done? And can this actually be a universe that lasts for, a long time?
I like that in theory. You really got to put your money where your mouth is, because so far it's just been things you've made.
Well, that's the problem. The start has been so James Gunn heavy that it's like, well, we haven't seen anyone else's, version of this world, so we don't know what it's like. I think when Lanterns come out, if that's really good, then that's going to have a huge effect of people being like, you know what, the DCU has potential. But I just think we've gotten too many James Gunn, and this is, again, as a big James Gunn fan, I think it's become too James Gunn heavy, and maybe Peacemaker season 2 shouldn't have been like the first big project after Superman.
I think he should have scrapped Creature Commandos. I think the minute he took over
Commandos,
I know
it's more of a side thing. It's animation,
but it was a prior deal that before this whole universe, that it was one of these carried over things where halfway through he was like, I don't know, why not? Yeah, that's the first DCU thing. It's not, Superman's the first DCU thing, but technically this one is. And you're like, okay, already you're messing up.
Right.
2, everybody's going to criticize you that you're doing the found family, group of misfits again. He truly should have just said, X. My thing is Superman. I'm putting all my power into this. Even Peacemaker 2, I would have... I don't know, because I don't want you to fucking throw the baby out with the bath. I love Peacemaker. I love Peacemaker season 1. I want to see this character again. I don't know. I don't know what the move would have been.
The rollout of the DCU, it's been a little weird in the way that the order that the projects have come out. Superman should have been the first thing, and it should have been like, this is the start of the universe. I agree with you. Like Creature Commandos coming out it's a strange, like Creature Commandos could have come out in like a couple years down the line and been like another side animation. It wouldn't even matter. Thing.
Yeah, it should have been a soft.
It makes no fucking difference.
And the thing is, like, you don't have to watch Creature Commandos to understand anything about the DCU. Like, it has no. It's just a side animation thing. It's totally not necessary. for any canon stuff. Like people complain about connected universes with the MCU and stuff. Oh, you got to do so much homework to understand anything. You don't really have to do any homework to understand Superman as a movie. You don't want Peacemaker. Obviously, there's references to stuff that happened in Superman, but I don't feel like you needed to watch Superman to understand anything that happened in this
season
show.
1.
Yeah. So I don't mind that, but it's too James Gunn heavy up top. They need more creative voices doing different things in this universe. I know that's coming down the line. It just feels the rollout of this universe has been very strange.
Yeah.
And again, I didn't even hate Creature Commandos. It is just like another Suicide Squad that's not as good. It's another Found Family. It's another,
Guardians of the Galaxy.
Task Force X, where it's like, they'll be blown up. I do like the idea of like different monsters, like Frankenstein's wife or whatever and stuff. That's kind of
but
fun.
The first line of the show is Rick Flag who says, "This is Task Force M for monster."
Oh,
like, okay.
Right. It's just more
All right.
Suicide Squad, but that's not necessarily a bad thing. Like I like Suicide Squad stories, and they don't all have to have like Captain Boomerang and Harley Quinn and stuff.
No, you love the Weasel.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like the Nazi killing robot, and I like Fish Lady.
Name other than GI Robot.
I told you.
Name
Frankenstein's
a
Bride.
single other character. The
There's
Bride.
Frankenstein,
yes,
David
all right.
Harbour.
There you go.
Big fan of David Harbour.
David Cheater.
All that talk
Yeah.
about how they're absolutely going to cross over into live action. Do you think we'll see a single one of those characters?
No.
Other than
The
Rick
only
Flag?
crossover is the Rick Flag, who has gray hair in that show, and then has like not gray hair, and then
And he was
wanna
asked
dye his
about
hair.
it, and James Gunn said, "We asked Grillo, and he
Frank
said
Grillo.
no.
No, I don't want to dye my hair gray, man. I need to do other roles.
It's like, okay,
Right.
like in the DCU, you're just allowed to say no to stuff.
Yeah, and again, he's
That's cool.
portrayed same actor, but he's portrayed completely differently in the show in a way that's like
He has sex with like a
jarring to me.
16-year-old dog. Like it's wild.
Yeah, in that show, yeah, it's very strange. I don't know. I still liked Creature Commandos as its own thing. It's just not. It's not necessary. Like it's not. I wouldn't say it's required viewing for fans.
No, you're
of
right.
the
It's not necessary.
It's
No.
not necessary. Yeah, there you go. I haven't seen it. So.
Yeah, but again, I think we all had higher hopes for Peacemaker season 2.
Huge hopes.
Yeah.
It took so long.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, again, there's moments. It's just
Yeah.
paced horribly. Like when Adrian is crying when John Cena leaves and writes that letter. He's not even mentioned in the letter, but he's like, my best friend is gone, and he's leaning on Adebayo's shoulder. It's like, that stuff's good. Just structurally is so weak.
If he came back and he was like, it's been 4 years. I don't know what to tell you. I've got 4 episodes. I would be skeptical, but if they were good, I'd be like, oh, okay. Like that was a long wait. And I wouldn't feel cheated. You know what I
No.
mean? Like I think the pressure got to him of like, how long was the first season? Oh, I got to do that again. I'm kind of on draft 4 of Man of Tomorrow right now. And you're like, why are you that? Why are you doing that? Why are you so far ahead? Delegate. You have to start delegating.
Mm-hmm.
Again, I think that's the problem, is that you're just trying to fit a plot into a certain amount of episodes when there's not enough plot there. And that's something, we're talking with Joe off pod, and he said like, yeah, like every episode is like just a lot of needle drops and montages without a lot happening. And it's like that's his crutch to fall back on these needle drops and emotion, trying to force these emotional moments that don't feel earned. And I think the one thing that is earned is sort of Christopher Smith's arc within the show, his emotional arc with his family and all that. And like that stuff worked the best for me. It's just
like he sees his brother
there's not
die
enough story
again.
there. Yeah.
Like
And
some crazy stuff.
Why don't his brother doesn't even die? Because like that's the thing, is like he watches his dad die, and then as they're like escaping,
Curse.
And he kills himself. To be fair, too.
he kills his alternate version, but that was in self-defense, to be fair.
Yeah.
And
do you
then
guys
he
like the
stops
Nazi
them.
costume?
The other Peacemaker one.
Yeah.
I didn't notice it to be Nazi-ish. Though.
I just know the
No,
bird
but
is-
just I'm just calling it that. Did you like the the upgraded Peacemaker.
It was like,
the hero.
Yeah.
The hero.
look,
I like
yeah.
that. He's got his motorcycle.
I liked it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good.
He's got the character
I
has
like
an
he's like, I'm
iconic
taking this
jetpack.
motorcycle.
Mm-hmm.
Dude,
Yeah.
and when he's like, we got to see if this thing can fit through the door, I was laughing.
Bringing the peace cycle. Yeah.
It's like, no, we're not leaving this. Get on.
Yeah. No.
I like all the alternate, like, they live in this nice mansion. He wears like really douchey clothes in that world.
He dresses like the Kardashians. Who are the Kardashians?
Kardashians.
No Armenians in this universe. Let me tell you.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Well, again, the twist is like, you can say it was obvious because I clocked it like very early on. I don't know about you guys.
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh, there's like no people of color in the extras, like in the background. I just noticed that it's
Mhm.
all white people in the background.
Yep.
So
And
you guys,
blondes.
Yeah.
So if you clock that, congratulations, you're not racist. If you didn't notice
Also,
that, I'll have to tell you, you are in fact racist. I'm sorry.
They bring up the city that Nightwing, who of course is Dick Grayson, former Robin, Batman's protege, ends up going to the Boston equivalent of the DC universe. It's called Bloodhaven. Now in this, they pronounce it, because it's spelled BLU with umlauts, D Haven. You notice that when his brother says, "You mean they went to Bloodhaven?" and he says like it in like the German pronunciation, I was like, no. Like that's like not a chance these are Nazis.
Mm-hmm.
They also pronounce, like, is it Belle Reeve or Belle Rev? Because I've always said Belle Rev, but they spell Belle Reeve in this
doesn't.
show.
Whatever actor's saying it at the time is how you say it. There is no consistency.
Is it Wilshire or Wilshire? Yeah, I guess it's whoever's saying it.
Right.
Yeah, Belle Reeve.
But Belle Rev, I've always said Belle Rev, but in
I've always said
DCU,
Belle
they
Reeve.
seem to say Belle Reeve.
All right.
Yeah,
I've never said it, but I'll say Belle Reeve from now on.
Yeah, Mike, thank you.
I'm on your team.
I do like all the little jokes about like the alternate universe, how things are different. Like I did like that stuff, like the Beatles, and they're like, "Oh, who are the Beatles?" Or there's like a
Mick Jagger.
What is it? There's like a band in this. Mick Jagger is the singer of the Beatles, of course. And then there's like a band that doesn't exist in our world. He's like, it's either like them or the Beatles as the best band in the world, right?
You know, Scooper Coof. You're a huge Scooper Coof fan.
You know
he keeps like saying that, and he says like a little bit of their number one hit, and he like sings a little bit of He's Driving. That's great. I love all that.
We should talk about his brother in the show, played by David Denham.
Of the Office.
Of the Office, Pam's fiance early on
in
in the Office, who eventually
Roy, you got it. Nice
who
work.
gets cucked by Jim, of course.
That's a guy who's only seen The Office like one time, which is like
really
basically not seeing The Office in modern standards, when people watch this thing like 10 times in a row.
Yeah. I've seen all The Office, unfortunately. You know, it's been a while, but I did watch The Office in its heyday.
It's not a comfort show. I don't go back to it, but I know people do like it. Not for me. Not for me.
It's become.
Happy to see Roy.
I think The Office is like one of the funniest shows of all time that's become underrated because it's so overrated in a way where it's like it's become so mainstream that it's actually underrated how funny it was. Like in its
you're missing how good it was. When when a 14-year-old is asking me if I know who Michael Scott is because he's so cringe, I'm like, you actually don't understand what's good about that show.
Yeah.
Like I think when it came out in its heyday, it was like one of the funniest shows on TV. And there's a famous episode where Roy like comes into the office like wanting to fight Jim, and then there's like this whole confrontation because Jim, obviously Pam leaves Roy and ends up with Jim in the show. Also, we should mention, fun fact, I mentioned this last week when we were talking about Slither. James Gunn used to be married to Pam.
That's right, Jen.
Now you posited, Jacob, this is maybe the connection here. I would assume that this is how they met.
So I know when they made when James Gunn made a little movie called Super, starring Rainn Wilson, Dwight from The Office. I know Jenna Fisher kind of facilitated that relationship and said like, "Hey, you should get Rainn Wilson to be in this movie." So I could definitely see that happening.
I did watch an interview with David Denham where he was like, "Yeah, my friend James called me," and I was like, "Why wouldn't I want to do this? It's in Peacemaker." And he said, "Here's the thing, bro. You're gonna have to hit the gym now. It's gonna fucking kick your ass." He said he ended up losing 40 pounds for this thing, and he's like, "This is the best role I've ever had because I'm positive it added like 5 years to my life," is what I assume. He's like, "I feel great. I don't drink anymore," and you're like,
"Good for you."
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if you saw him in that movie with The movie where what the fuck is the name of that?
Is it new?
Is he in The Accountant or something?
No, it was with Aaron Pierre, where he's like fighting cops and stuff. Do you remember that?
Oh yeah, Jacob. He's the fucking racist cop. He's a big boy in that.
And
You're
he's
right.
much heavier in that role.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
Kudos to David Denham.
He fucking hassles the Green Lantern, Jacob.
Yeah.
Shit, that's right.
Great movie, by the way. If I could remember the name of it, I would shout it out.
I just need someone to offer me $5 million to get in shape. I would do it.
Yeah.
Rebel Ridge. Rebel Ridge.
God,
I'd do it in a heartbeat.
Don Johnson.
Buy me a trainer.
David Denman. I kept saying Denham. Denman.
No hair anymore, huh? What a bummer.
Hey,
he pulls it off though.
Sometimes people lose their hair. Oh, he was also in Brightburn, which was a James Gunn produced superhero horror movie. Like basically what if starring Elizabeth Banks
from Slither.
Wow, look at us go.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, it was written by
his
other Gunn brothers, Brian Gunn and Mark Gunn, some other Guns you didn't even know existed.
How many Guns are there? They got a license in that family?
Yeah. There's also Sean Gunn, so there's at least 4 brothers
in this show.
Max Lord,
produced Brightburn 2019. It's basically a horror movie about what if young Superman was like a horror villain, basically.
Right.
In that interview, Mike, your beloved Isabella Mercado says she has to stop eating chips because her butt is getting so big. That's what Peacemaker overhears. What's going on?
Right.
Yeah, that's
Nathan
true.
Fillion.
What's going on here?
Maxwell Lord and Isabella Merced talking about eating too many chips.
Do you like this Maxwell Lord better than the Pedro Pascal Maxwell Lord?
Absolutely.
It doesn't matter.
Unequivocally.
Yeah, but David Denman, good addition as grown-up Keith in this world, Chris Smith's brother.
Yeah. I like that like he's worried about Chris. Like, because in this world it's implied that like that world's Peacemaker is like addicted to drugs and like drinks all the time.
It's like anger issues.
Addict and he's anger issues.
You know how your brother was.
Yeah.
Well, that's what's weird is this where like the other, like the dad and the brother are like nice, and then Peacemaker is like a piece of shit. But in our world, the dad was a piece of shit. But which is like, how did Chris Smith in our world evolve to be a genuinely good person and have the ability to even be best friends with a black queer woman without these ingrained prejudice? Yeah. But raised by a super racist dad. Yeah.
But being exposed
but just rejecting his dad's ideology because his dad was a piece of shit.
That first season is so important, man. It came out at a time where it was like, don't be racist. And we're all like, this is something we need to hear.
Right.
Yeah.
This one, it's like, America's for Nazis, and it's like, that building's on fire. I've got so many more important things going on. I can't deal with your Peacemaker show. I'm so sorry. Like, it is just
again, I think it doesn't go far enough. Yeah, where it's like,
we needed to spend more
imagine
time
going to a universe where everyone's a Nazi. And it's like, that's our universe. Like, we're living in that.
Here's the thing. Adebayo runs away. She's getting chased by a group of white people, including Christopher's brother. It's horrible.
Yeah.
It's scary.
Yeah.
Jacob, it reminded me a lot of us watching Invasion of the Body Snatchers. In that it's just like people pointing at someone and that feeling you get of like, ooh, that doesn't make me feel good. Please, mob, don't do that. How did we not get an episode of her being kidnapped and taken to one of these camps where they fucking like liberated and like change this world or like do some positive thing or like help people of color? That it was so insular that it's like it all takes place in Peacemaker 2's house and like
the mansion in
the
one
whole
street.
season basically.
It's so perfunctory. Like, we don't go into this world enough. We don't see enough of the world. And it's like, again, we're in and out of that universe in like 3 episodes. And it's such an anticlimactic ending of like, and then they all just go back to the real world.
He rides his motorcycle he leaves their house and he rides the same street to Argus the 2 times we see him do it, where you're like, yeah, I know this is a soundstage. It looks so small.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would have liked to see more of that world. And like you said, the Patriot, whatever the Guns of the Patriot, whatever they call
Liberty.
Sons of Liberty,
Metal Gear.
Guns of the Patriots. That's a Metal Gear Solid.
Probably a
They're
real.
both Metal Gear.
Unfortunately, probably some supervillains we're gonna have to worry about in our real world here.
Right.
Pretty
Yeah.
soon.
But I wanted to see
No,
more
it's
of
the
like
Guns
the
of the
resistance.
Patriot, Jacob, get down.
Yeah.
I wanted to see more of the resistance in that world and Vigilante being a part of the Sons of Liberty. And like we get that terrorist attack, but we barely see like it just all feels so perfunctory. And then we're out of that world and we're onto this like plot of like building a prison for metahumans in another dimension.
Next
like,
thing you know, you're seeing like a fake candy world. Like that's when I'm like, James Gunn, you have to dial yourself back. Whatever your first instinct is, you have to reduce that by like 50%.
Yeah.
Right.
And what if we have a bunch of scenes of like Rick Flag and these scientists like railing lines of cocaine and laughing while all the artist people are like dying?
The minute you write that down as the head of a DC studio, you should be like, well, obviously not that idea, but maybe something. Like you.
And this is the season finale of the whole show, and you're focusing on this brand new plot line with Rick Flag, where it's like, I don't care about this. Like, I know you're trying to like set up more DCU stuff, but it's like, focus on like Peacemaker. You know, it was just very strange.
I mean, if we're being kind of find ways to have structured this. It's like Chris goes into the world. Rick Flag immediately gets the portal machine, so Chris is there longer. And then our 11th Street kids are trying to steal the portal back while he's fucking around with it, trying to figure out how it works. To
I love that,
more
Mike.
time in that world.
Can I add something to you?
Yeah.
Here's something interesting. Rick Flag Jr. from that world comes to ours. He's so suspicious of Peacemaker. I've been looking into your life. He comes here. What does Rick Flag Sr. think to suddenly have his son back? And what does that kid think to not be in a Nazi world? Your son was the golden boy. Now he's a Nazi. It's like, that's some interesting drama.
That would be great. Yeah.
And to introduce Rick Flag Jr. in this Nazi world and then not do anything with him. It's like, oh, he's just kind of like a bumbling idiot or whatever in this world.
Cubicle for a bit.
Yeah.
And I saw in the minute by minute or the piece by piece or whatever the fuck it's called, where he's like, what people don't realize is, what is that guy's name? Joel Kinnaman. Joel, who's one of my best friends, because everybody is always James' best friend, is actually an incredibly underrated comedic actor. So I knew I wanted to bring him back and give him comedy. That's what he excels at. And you're like, that is not what Joel Kinnaman excels at. That is not at all what you should be doing for his career.
We love The Suicide Squad, Colin. It's one of your favorite movies of ever. And he's like one of the best parts in it. Like his emotional arc in that movie is like what makes it so good.
Don't ruin it.
Yeah,
he's incredible.
And so then, if you're going to bring him back, like do something interesting with the character. And it's just like he's like maybe a romantic rival to Peacemaker with Harcourt, I guess. But it's just like they don't do anything, and then they just leave that world.
Even explore that.
I've also seen some people interpreting it that maybe Peacemaker and Rick Flag Jr. like had hooked up at some point. Like maybe there was some bisexual shit going on, and he's trying. And Peacemaker has to repress that part of him so much in that world. That's why he's such an angry piece of shit. Because in Nazi world, you can't be gay, but maybe him and Rick Flag.
I like it, Mike. That's even
so. It's a triangle with Harcourt.
Make that text. I don't need subtext. Make that text.
That's interesting,
right?
Yeah. But
again, the Nazi world, when the reveal of the Nazi world, they're like, look, there's like American flags with swastikas on them.
Okay.
Hold on. That's not happening.
The second best line. You think I got all these muscles by reading books? When she says every desk has Mein Kampf on it. And she goes, what about that? And she
what about that mural?
Goes, okay, that was a big
I should have saw that.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But some funny parallels because in the real world there was this scandal where like in a Republican like campaign headquarters there was an American flag with a swastika. It's like, that's the world we live in now.
Yeah. The plot should have been more time over there with Peacemaker slowly, because he does that one thing where he defuses the bomb from the Sons of Liberty. But it turns out they're like the freedom fighters. So you would have to learn about them, learn about new vigilante, like, oh, there's a resistance to this. We needed that plot to happen.
Here's a huge issue. It really never makes the case that universe is bad, right? Like other than chasing Adebayo for that 1 minute, there needed to be something where they're like, these people are all psychopaths. Like there needed to be like a public whipping or something. Like I know that that's all like very like delicate and like
Yeah, but
how
show
far
more
do
of
you
the
go with that
horrors of
imagery?
that world.
Yeah.
Make us think like, yo, this is fucked up. But truly
Yeah.
that all three of us are like, yeah, we live on Nazi world is a huge problem for this
It
show.
didn't go far
Yeah.
enough, and it's almost like just it's not even a main part of the plot that it's a Nazi world, and it's like not delved
And, like,
into enough, and then they
Fighting against it
Yeah.
should have been a big plot point for sure.
right. We should have seen more of the Sons of Liberty, more of the characters doing Nazi stuff. Like you said, you see Adebayo getting
See the
chased, and that's
camps.
really scary to be
You-
chased by a bunch of people like that, and then they all get
We-
electrocuted in a swimming pool, which is funny.
That's
Which
cool.
is crazy. I've never electrocuted that many people in a swimming pool. My
It was.
previous number was 4 or whatever it is.
Judo Master, yeah.
Yeah, I do like
Um,
Judo Master. I'm always happy when he shows up.
Yeah, boy, does a lot with a little. I don't know. And again,
Yeah,
the
it
interest in these Charlton comics, which we talked about that a little bit in season 1, but the absorption that DC bought this comic brand and got characters like Peacemaker, Judo Master, Captain Triumph is also one of these Charlton comics versus DC comics, right?
Mhm.
James Gunn clearly has an interest in some stuff, but
Yeah.
again, it's just, boy, guys, this was a swing and a miss.
He's very interested in like the Silver Age of DC. It seems like, and like sort of the more goofy, comic booky DC versus a more serious, obviously the Snyder era and various dark, gritty interpretations of DC.
I'll say that this show is a little bit of that, where we're taking Peacemaker himself from like murderous, edgy, killer, dark DC Snyderverse, and we're transitioning him to a sympathetic, kind of softer, more comedic version of that character.
But this world, this world's very bright and colorful and goofy, but then also has moments of extreme violence, and that's kind of the tonal whiplash that kind of creates some of the comedy. Like when the Argus agent is like eaten alive by little alien gummy bear people
Oh,
or whatever.
yeah,
Like, that's
right.
kind of the joke of it. Yeah.
God, Tim Meadows through line of giving them all nicknames.
Tim Meadows,
forgot
like
about
I don't know
that
how
whole
you
thing.
ruin a Tim Meadows appearance where it's just like, yeah, Tim, just go, just do whatever you want. It's like, I don't know. Again, rein it in, man. Like we don't need a million improv lines from Tim Meadows, and like
Nope.
his character is so unlikable. And it's like, how did this guy even get this position of like super agent guy when he's so bad at his job?
Incompetent.
Yeah,
Seems like
he's
nobody
like-
likes him.
Yeah, it just seemed weird. Like all the other like Argus agents are like professionals and like good at their job, and then he's like, I have bird blindness.
Some kind of a duck attacked us in there.
Like if he had said that and then that woman just pulled her gun out and shot him in the head and like the season was like more serious, I would be like, okay, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like,
Then
yeah,
we would
kill
like
that
the cyborg.
goofball.
Yeah.
Yeah, but again, I would have liked to see more of the implications of the Nazi world versus our world, and
No.
You want to hold that mirror up
We
a
got-
little
we got-
longer. A lot longer.
We got
than
3
you did.
episodes of Red Saint Wild Hunt Neekly, dog. I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah.
We got more
Right.
important things going on.
We got to move the portal 3 more times.
couldn't matter less.
Yeah. Less
Yeah.
moving the portal,
again-
more defeating the Nazis, please. That's what I would have liked.
well, should we
Yeah.
jump into final thoughts and wrap this bad boy up?
Let's do it.
Oh, Julian, it's a crazy
Hungry
world.
It's a
Thank you,
Nazis
alive.
world. We gotta salute you alive. We're back here on Normies Like Us, where we're talking Peacemaker season 2. And you know what? All that drama that happened to us all season long, who cares? Let's just have fun and get together and like build our own company at the end, and we'll all decide everything's good, and we'll just kind of get over it. It's not a big deal.
Yeah. It's
Yeah,
really fine.
let's dance to a Foxy Shazam song,
Yeah.
and
Our friend has money. We'll just buy a building. We'll hire all the people who kind of don't blast rails, and that'll be it.
Mhm.
right, all the good people from Argus will defect, like the android lady who's having second thoughts about Rick Flag. Like again, her arc seems so like they could have done more with that character to make like I don't mind that character, but I wish they would have done more with her because it's like her arc is like she's in a relationship with Rick Flag, or she's like fucking him on the side, and then she's like, oh wait, he's kind of a bad guy. I don't know if he's has our best interest, and then and then she defects to Peacemaker's new company.
Season 1. You have those two detectives hunting Peacemaker the whole time. You
Mhm.
have Lachlan, whatever that actor's name is, and then the Asian lady, right? All original characters. They aren't anything.
Yes. Right.
Mhm.
I loved her. She
Yeah,
was
she's
such
great.
a great character. And when she gets taken over by the Butterfly Queen, you're like devastated. In
Yeah.
this, I'm constantly like, get this android and Bird Boy away from me. Like
Fair.
this needs to
I
be
liked
done.
Bordeaux. Though.
Yeah, no.
Bordeaux
'cause
is a good character. They just didn't do much with her.
I saw her that agent lady in a commercial, and I was like, "Oh, good for you. Get some money." But what a great character in season 1.
Great.
Yeah, she was the best.
She was great.
Yep.
And we get the cameo from that Lachlan guy, and he's just a Nazi in this one. Hey, we heard some noise at the Peacemaker estate. Is everything okay? They're
That's
like,
right.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't realize that because I forgot about season 1, or
Yeah.
forgot he was in season 1.
It doesn't
That's
matter.
No.
It means nothing, Jacob.
Vigilante 2 got to shoot a bunch of cops. That was fun.
Why do they think about this too? We love Vigilante. And is he about to die when they leave him there in Nazi world? Like it seems like he's overwhelmed and he's screaming, go through
No,
the portal.
He'll be all right.
He'll be
I
all
don't
He's
right.
got to
No.
stay there to fight the Nazis.
But that sounds horrible.
He'll call a timeout and say, "Ask me about spiders," and then he'll get away.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you remember, they're beating the shit out of Peacemaker's brother, and then Peacemaker stops him because he's kind of having a breakdown. Like, stop! Like everything I touch turns to shit. Like, please
flashback,
don't
yeah.
kill my brother.
Yeah.
And then they go through the portal, but Harcourt stays and is like, look, sorry, I have to kill you because I can't risk you coming
Right.
after him. But then before she kills him, more cops show up, so she has to go. And so Peacemaker's brother's still alive,
That's
basically, is how the
Vigilante does a cartwheel while shooting like an Uzi when he's like, run Harcourt, the other Vigilante. Yes,
Yeah.
and then I agree with you.
So I think they are setting up potential plot lines for the future of like David Denman's still out there. He could come to our world or something, right?
Yeah.
And then what? He'll get sent to, what is it called? Is it called Paradise?
Oh,
Paradise, yeah.
Is that what they call it?
So that's the big twist at the
Spoil
end
it.
is that
Yeah,
they
tell us. Say all
they
this.
find basically Argus is looking for an alternate dimension where they can not even build a prison. They're just going to send metahumans there and be like, the planet is the prison, you see, because they can't come back. So Argus is like examining all these other dimensions, seeing which one could be safe to set up this prison. That's why they're like dying from random stuff. So finally they find this alternate world called Paradise, and they're like, okay, we're going to send all the bad metahumans here. And then the big twist at the end of the show is that Rick Flag sends Peacemaker there and like pushes him into this dimension. So now Peacemaker, who's not a metahuman, as you pointed out, Colin, he's just a guy who's strong and good at fighting.
A hired
basically.
killer.
He's got helmets. He's got tech. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But again, Rick Flag has this vendetta against him for killing his son. He beat the shit out of him. That was an interesting plotline too, where he's in Argus custody, and Rick Flag's about to kill him. Like he's beating the shit out of him, and making sure that he's not logged within the system, so that he can just literally just kill him and nobody would know. But then Economos saves him by logging him in the system. But he pushes him into this other dimension, and that's where the show ends off. Right as everything's being wrapped up, we started this new security company with all our best friends. Everything's happy. Peacemaker's now in this alternate dimension.
And it's a cliffhanger, and I'm like, okay, James Gunn said there won't be a Peacemaker season 3 probably. Maybe Peacemaker crosses over another movie. Supergirl shot, Lanterns is shot, all this stuff. I know when this is happening, I'm not going to get a resolution for this cliffhanger for like 3 years. So I'm watching it, I'm like, who gives a shit? Like, there won't be in America in 3 years. It's like I almost want to say to every media company that like tries to get you excited for stuff, did you see the Discover card is partnering with Stranger Things? I'm like, none of us have money. The world is over.
Right.
What are you talking about?
Yeah,
the economy's going down the drain. Everyone's getting laid off.
Trump will
nobody has
probably
jobs
be
anymore.
dead by the time this
Nobody's
podcast
getting,
comes out.
The government
Hopefully.
is shut down.
No
Nobody
food
knows when the
stamps.
government is going to start back up. Yeah, SNAP benefits have been cut off for 40 million Americans. Shit's pretty bad right now. if we're
Yeah,
being
so we
honest.
really need you to like tweet and repost about the Peacemaker season 2 finale, and
Yeah.
like you make sure you use the hashtag Eagly is the prime eagle. It's like
Yeah.
I
Hashtag
like
Prime Eagle.
I am taking courses to like learn how to like defend my family with guns. It's like you like the world is over. Like admit it.
Yeah.
Stop society.
Let's take a
And
break.
as far as Peacemaker season 3, yeah, James Gunn has said like there's no plans right now for another season of Peacemaker, but that doesn't mean that could change down the line. But as far as this cliffhanger, it does feel like, yeah, when is that going to get resolved?
Is it going to
I
be
don't
just
know.
a random part of a movie? Who knows? But in other capitalist news, Warner Brothers for sale.
Okay, and so Mike,
buy it.
thank you, because perfect transition here. Now James Gunn is doing all these interviews where he's like, and you know, my idea was for the long term. There's pretty good odds though that when we get these new owners, when like Paramount or Netflix buys us, that I probably won't be in charge anymore. Where it's like
And we don't like
I guess-
Paramount's ownership.
why invest in anything? Like,
Yeah.
like why get excited or enjoy anything, I guess.
That's
all
the
gonna
problem with the
disappear.
DCU, because it's like, yeah, will the DCU even be a thing in 3 years? Who knows? And unfortunately, you know, Superman, we all liked it. It did okay at the box office. It
okay.
didn't do amazingly, which they kind of wanted it. Like it
Well, it
didn't.
did pour overseas.
It
because
sold
everybody
less
hates
than-
America.
Yeah, it's not doing
Yeah.
great on streaming. I've seen a lot of those numbers where it's not one of Max's most watched things, and it fell out of the top 10 pretty quick.
I think the problem, yeah, and it didn't, like, even in theaters, it didn't do as well as Man of Steel, which is a bad sign. Like, because they're like, you don't understand, like, the Snyderverse is
You wanna
over.
comp
Now
that.
all the Snyder people are like, look, see, like, it's doing worse financially
Fools.
than the Snyderverse. Yeah. So that's what I'm worried about. And like the Suicide Squad obviously didn't have a theatrical run. It came out on HBO Max during that era where it was like, this was another thing with HBO where like, we're just going to release everything directly to our streaming app so that we have no idea like how well it would have done.
That guy does not have a job anymore. The guy who came up with that idea, he is.
Yeah.
Well, David Zaslav.
Jason Kilmar, whatever that guy's name.
Oh, sure.
David Zaslav, of course, yes, is murdering everyone on the planet. But the man who literally was like, people will love watching Wonder Woman 84 at home, and it was like,
right. And so that,
what
like,
are you talking about?
Yeah.
that like held back this entire idea of the DCU by just like, I don't know, it's weird, but who knows what the future is going to be as far as this DC universe. And the MCU has been able to hold on since 2008 whenever Iron Man came out, and it's going through its own problems, of course. I'm sure they'll all be fixed when Avengers comes out next year.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Yeah.
But it's like DCU needs to be like building towards a Justice League movie or something. I don't know.
will
I
it
just
even
I want it to
exist?
do well. Yeah,
A
that's the
reminder that
problem.
this is called Chapter 1 Gods and Monsters, is what James Gunn has called this. We're getting a Clayface movie that has nothing to do with any of this. We're getting a Supergirl, so the second super thing, 2 seasons of Peacemaker, and the Creature Commandos.
And
Are those Gods and Monsters? What are those?
I guess Superman's the
I
god.
don't know. There is a
Clayface is the monster?
there's a Justice
Creature
League.
Commandos, there's a lot of monsters there.
There's an animated Justice League movie called Justice League Gods and Monsters, which is another alternate universe story where there's like an evil Superman and like a vampire Batman and stuff.
And the Man-Bat is Batman Kirk Langstrom. Yeah. Classic. Played by Dexter.
I think
Michael
a lot. That's right. Remember when I did my animated DC Universe watch last summer?
Jacob, I saw a clip from, I think it's Green Lantern Beware My Light. Is that the Tomorrowverse Green Lantern movie?
Yes.
It looked dope. Have you seen that?
That one, I didn't love the movie, unfortunately. Wait, I want to make sure that's the one I think it is.
It's him. It's like Green Lantern, and then it's like Green
like
Arrow.
John Stewart.
Yeah.
It's John Stewart, Green Lantern, and then Green Arrow, and they have to team up. And in that one, the twist is that, spoiler alert for that movie, is that Hal Jordan is like becomes an evil Green
He's
Lantern.
the Parallax Jordan.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
I didn't love that one. I think part of it, I just didn't love the
sucked
Tomorrowverse. Yeah.
Really?
It was a little unfocused. But I am looking forward to Lanterns. I'm looking like a lot of these projects sound interesting to me. The Clayface movie sounds very interesting to me.
It's literally based on the substance, is what every creative person has said.
Oh,
It's an
that
actor
makes
who
it.
takes a thing to make him a better actor
Yeah.
after suffering an
I
accident.
don't like
They're
that
That's
because
Clayface.
yeah, but I like the idea. Yeah, he's an actor, and I think Clayface is a interesting character that hasn't really been done before too much
But
in
he
movies and stuff.
did appear in the Creature
Yes,
Commandos. So is this the same Clayface?
I guess so.
Interesting.
I mean, he's sort of he's not super important within Creature Commandos.
I
He's
think
more
he
of a
just
side
has one
character.
line. I think it's Alan Tudyk just going, "Get away from me, I'm Clayface."
Is
Yeah,
Alan Tudyk playing
Okay.
Clayface in the movie?
Yeah, I know he's not.
Okay.
no. But Clayface traditionally is a Batman villain. You know, he's in Batman's Rogues Gallery. But I think looking at him as a sympathetic character could be an interesting angle for a movie.
That's
so I
what
like
they
that
thought about
idea.
Morbius.
Yeah, but I have more faith.
I've seen this play be
in-
run before.
I have more faith in the DCU than I do in the Spider-Man villains without Spider-Man universe.
See, I don't know
Right.
anything about Clayface, so for me, I feel like I felt this way about Peacemaker too. Like, I have no buy-in. I don't know who Clayface is. He has no brand recognition with me as a super
Okay,
normie.
yeah.
So it seems like a
Yeah,
weird
Clayface
move
is
to me.
basically how he sounds. His body is made out of clay, and he can.
He's like Sandman,
basically
but
has
wet.
shape-shifting power. Well, he
Now-
has shape. He can look like anything. Basically, he can transform and look like a
Right.
different person.
Okay.
Real
chameleon.
quick, the other avenue, which I think is a huge problem for this James Gunn universe that you guys are making me think of, because we're talking about a Batman villain property without Batman. It's making me think of how we all loved Colin Farrell's Penguin movie, which then makes you think the whole weirdness that is the Reeves verse being separate from the James Gunn thing.
Yeah.
Right. Well, we have the Batman Part 2 coming out. We have a different Batman within the DCU that's being written in some stage of pre-production. Seems several
his
years
most
down the
recent
line.
quote post Superman coming out is, "We've finally cracked the story," which you're like,
Right.
Okay.
Of course, that
Okay.
is the director of the Flash movie as well as the It movies is helming that. And so, yeah, I've been a proponent of like just combine the Matt Reeves, like put Robert Pattinson in the DCU.
that.
I think he would be a great
Might as
foil to
well.
this, Corn Sweat Superman. Like, I'd love to see the two of them together. I think they would be a great
Yeah.
foil. And I'm not saying like this whatever new Batman they come up with won't be good as well. Like there's been a lot of casting rumors as far as who's going to play this Batman
Right,
and stuff. I think part of the problem with this rollout of the DCU is that you're focusing on characters that should be way down the line. Like when the MCU came out, it was, we're doing an Iron Man wasn't a huge character, but he was still one of the main Avengers. So you're like Iron Man,
Captain America, Thor. Yeah.
Thor.
Spider-Man
Incredible
is
Hulk.
movie 20 of the MCU.
But Spider-Man, there was a rights issue, so they couldn't just
Yeah.
jump into Spider-Man.
Yeah.
But I think DCU should be like, okay, it's good. Okay, we're getting a Lantern show. That's good, Green Lantern. But we need this Batman, this version of the Batman. We need Wonder Woman. Let's get some characters that people recognize and get oriented within this universe. The Superman movie was a good start, but even that is like focusing on Mr. Terrific and like Green Lantern, but it's
And it
not
Hawk
how
Girl.
kind
Jordan
of
is.
didn't work. So let's double
Yeah.
down on Supergirl. And you're like,
Yeah. But again, I think Supergirl is going to be an interesting movie. I think Clayface is interesting, but I want to see. We need our mainstays. We need our big three. We need our Justice League.
I
They're
think
starting
when
from the bench.
Yeah.
a deep bench too. I
Mhm.
think when the press tour starts for Supergirl and Jason Momoa has to start saying things like, "Yeah, I was
Hey, brother."
Aquaman in the last world. Now I'm Lobo."
Yeah.
I truly think the audience is just going to be like, "Let's just go ahead and put the nail in this coffin. Like, we might be
But I
done
don't think
with
it's
all
even.
this."
It's good casting for Lobo though. Like I can see
It's
Jason Momoa as
fine.
Lobo.
It
Yeah.
just, but it's one of those things where it's like, well, your audience worked so hard to learn one thing, and now you're just pulling the rug out from under them. Do you think that's going to work?
Yeah,
Yeah.
and they're almost trying to overcorrect from the Snyderverse. But it's like at least the Snyderverse was focusing on these recognizable characters: Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman, Green Lantern,
Aquaman.
Cyborg, Aquaman. Like,
And people went to those movies. They didn't like them, but they went to them. We're
Yeah,
having trouble getting
Flash.
people to show up for DCU stuff. It's like, that's, if it's better, great. They have to see it. That's the issue.
Mm-hmm.
yeah. So I don't know what the future is going to look like. I don't know what the fix is, but I want it to be successful. I really do.
I'm rooting for it so hard.
Yeah.
Yeah. If I was going to give them any advice, I'd just say, oh, Julian, it's a hungry world, and they
Oh,
eat you alive.
It's gonna eat you alive. Oh, James.
James.
This DCU is gonna eat you alive.
Yeah.
Yeah. As much as I like James, like he might be a little over his head and
Okay.
need some other creative voices in there to sort of level it out a little bit.
So
Hmm.
truly, in a universe where like Ted Sarandos, CEO of Netflix, is like, we bought Warner Brothers. We're starting over. Bye, James. What do you do? Do you go back to just writing and directing movies after you've run a studio? Is that not like?
Yeah.
But
I think he'll go
like,
back to. I think if that were to
original
happen,
ideas.
I think
Or
so.
I think he'll go
Yeah.
back to small, low budget,
Okay.
and go back to like a hard R type of thing where it's like I'm gonna do like a
That's
crazy,
what I think.
gory creature movie or something like that.
Perfect world, Jacob. I think he takes his production company Troll Court, which was so inspired by his trauma roots, and he's just like, I'm gonna make my own studio. Troll Court is the new trauma, and we make direct to streaming gore fest or something. Jacob, I would love that. What I think
Yeah.
it will honestly will be James Gunn signs on for Guardians 4.
Oh, man.
We can't go back to Disney.
We can't get on a darker timeline than we currently are, can we? Surely, right?
Right.
No.
But I don't know. Yeah, Warner Brothers for sale, Paramount is for sale. Like the entire entertainment, like the future of the entertainment industry is looking super bleak right now. Everybody's getting laid off. Everybody I
Amazon
know
just laid off
personally is getting
AI,
laid
though, is
off.
going to make it so
Yeah.
sick.
Paramount just laid off 10,000. AI is taking jobs. Truly, and I know that we've all had our own frustrations with the film industry. I don't understand how you're a young person, you look at it and say that you're going to like join it and like do things and like make movies. I think that whole path is just like disappeared and gone now.
Oh yeah, even compared to
know.
10 years ago, it's like it's super bleak in terms of like people I know who have worked in the industry for a decade
whole
are being
life.
laid off. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
They
I
work
don't
at
know how
great
you would get your
places.
start these days.
You're like, you were an award-winning editor. And it's like, yep.
Yeah. It's super bleak. Again, Paramount is for sale. Star Trek world is super bleak. Like the future of Star Trek, the future of all these franchises and things that I love in a nerd way. It's just like capitalism is eroding and destroying everything that I love. And that's the world we live in.
Yeah, like no matter who buys what, it's going to be okay. We got 2 companies that own all the shit that's on your screen now, and that becomes all diluted and
It's Amazon,
Cyberpunk.
Disney, and that's it.
Yeah, but
Amazon
We're not
and
going to
Disney.
pay you. And you don't deserve to have money, but we do need you to buy things. Oh,
Right.
I can't
right.
afford things.
So, how? Where
Yeah,
does
so
this
not
end?
to have such a super bleak ending to our Peacemaker season 2 episode, but that's just
right.
the state of everything right now.
How I
feels bad.
feel. How I
the
felt
end of the
watching the
season
show.
feels bleak. Yeah, you're like, well,
felt-
that didn't mean anything.
Like I said at the top, we do this newsletter thing where we, as friends, like send each other updates or whatever. Jacob's like posting the Peacemaker song, being like, I'm watching Peacemaker, I'm loving these episodes. It's like 3 or 4 episodes in. I'm catching up. I'm like, this is great. We're watching it. And then it's just like I drove off a cliff. I mean, it's like a meteor hit me. It's like Peacemaker put his gun to the back of my head and just pulled the trigger as I'm watching it. I'm like, why do I hate this now? This is horrible.
I sort of had that same arc where like the first 4 episodes, maybe it's like I'm super into this. I'm loving
Great.
it. Like I'm loving. Can't wait to see
My
where it
friends
goes.
are back. It's been 4 years. I'm so
Yeah.
happy.
And then the longer it went on, I was like, okay, is like something going to happen now? Is something going to happen now? It's more needle
I said it up
drops.
top.
Yeah.
Our Peacemaker 1 episode was like 181. It's been 186 episodes since then. So the length of our time leading up to a Peacemaker episode to then post Peacemaker episode are almost exactly the same for this
That's insane.
podcast. That is wild to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if you remember when we were doing our Twisted Metal episode, our Star Trek Strange New Worlds episodes, I was saying on those podcasts, like, yeah, I'm watching these different shows. I'm loving Peacemaker season 2 more than any of these shows.
Yeah,
and that was
you were
early
saying
on
that.
in the season.
Yeah,
And then
eat
for it
shit,
to fall
Jacob.
off so much.
Yeah.
Look,
Eat fucking crow. You apologize.
Past
to
Jacob
Mike
was
Mitchell.
wrong.
You call him up right now and say you didn't
I'm sorry,
understand
Twisted
Twisted Metal.
Yeah. No, I was wrong in terms of like, yeah, it didn't pay off in the way that I had hoped. Again, a lot of people hated the season finale of the show. I don't think I would go
Hated
that
it.
far to say that I
To the
hated
point
it.
where James Gunn had to comment on it and literally said, well, I don't write everything. I don't write for everyone. Where you're like, boy,
Hmm.
the lowest
you're-
defense.
Yeah.
But you're writing for the DCU, which is by definition needs like the most amount of people possible to watch it
Dog,
to stay like,
You need
profitable.
eyes on your stuff. You
Yeah.
cannot be selective.
Like your
Yeah.
Superman movie needs to be kind of for everyone. And again, we all like the Superman movie.
Kind of needed to hit $1 billion.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
unfortunately,
agree
it
with you.
didn't do as well as I wanted it to. We'll see about the future, but man, I don't know. I don't know.
Grim.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ah!
That being said, I think Lanterns is going to be a banger.
Yeah.
I mean, like a grounded murder mystery with Kyle Chandler and Aaron Pierre
All
as
set on Earth.
Hal Jordan and
Oh, that's
Jon
right.
Stewart. Yeah,
Green
I think that-
Lanterns, the intergalactic police force.
but
It's a true
you know, True Detective inspired. Like,
Yeah, True
oh, we're gonna do True
Guess what,
Detective with
buddy?
Green Lanterns.
Guess what? So tell me what season you stopped watching True Detective at.
I've seen them all.
I've stopped-
Now they're
I've
not all
only seen one.
good.
No fucking way have you seen Night
I
Country
watched
or whatever the hell
Yes,
it's called.
it was bad.
Really?
Yeah, it was bad. It was like a bad version of John Carpenter's The Thing or something.
Did you
but,
watch the Dementia one
the Dementia one
with
Wait.
Blade? What's his name?
Oh, Mahershala Ali. Okay,
Yeah.
I haven't watched them all because I started watching that one and then fell
Nailed
off
your
like
ass.
immediately. So.
I fucking nailed his ass.
Got
I
him.
watched Night Country,
Hit
the
him with the
worst
book.
one. So,
I'm just looking.
no, but if
forward
it's
to-
like season 1 of True Detective,
Sure.
yeah, no,
Now we're
get Hal
talking.
Jordan.
Great.
He's gonna conjure a
all right,
cigarette
all
with his
right, all
ring.
right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he'll be stressed out. It'd be
What if
great.
Matthew McConaughey had a robot leg in True Detective?
Hmm.
It'd be great.
Great. Greenlit. We
Anyways.
greenlit the Green Lantern. All right.
Yeah.
Well, Peacemaker season 2, the future of the DC. We've covered it all. What a
We're
journey.
peacing out. It's an unfortunate flavor being left in our mouth. We hope maybe you liked it more. Reach out to us if you had a different
Well-
reaction. If you can defend Peacemaker season 2.
Let me one more thing too. How would you rank this when it comes to Alien Earth, which we also didn't love?
Mhm.
Twisted Metal, maybe you guys like Twisted Metal more.
Mhm.
I still had mixed feelings about it. And then our Star Trek Strange New Worlds very uneven season that we had mixed feelings about.
Boy.
Mhm.
And so
None
and
of these shows worked out as
But-
much as I wanted to.
And you're
Mhm.
saying worked out, but specifically, I want to hit the wording you said, Jacob, payoff.
Hmm.
Out of all
Yes.
of those, Twisted Metal and maybe Alien have the most payoff, I would say.
Yes.
I put
But again,
Twisted
we had a
Metal
lot of problems with Alien being super disjointed and messy.
Now I have
And
a pet
Twisted Metal.
xenomorph. Yeah, Twisted Metal too. Had pacing
Yeah.
issues as well.
Yeah, but the little eye.
Maybe we're
boy.
just too
We
picky.
love the little
We
eye.
love the
boy.
Eye Boy. Exactly.
We loved Eye Boy.
Yeah.
Just make a show about the eye.
I would watch a whole movie about the eye.
Just make an
dude.
eye apocalypse.
Alien Earth, but drop the ARTH and make it EYE.
Alien.
Alien Eye Earth.
Eye Alien.
I guess are we just getting too picky in our old age and being
No,
like, no,
no,
none of
I-
these shows are good anymore?
No. And in fact, thank you, because this is the exact thing I want to say about it. Did you guys watch that Jamila Jamil interview? And she is the woman from The Good Place who's kind of like a
I mean,
presenter
from She-Hulk.
in the BBC. She
I
was
have
the
not.
villain in She-Hulk as well.
Yeah.
who was on some sort of talk show recently and did this entire interview about how she knows, as a producer, as somebody who has a production company, who does meetings with Netflix and stuff, the dumbification of TV. And
Yeah.
people have always called it like slop content. Sure, it's just content, it's just streaming, whatever, blah, blah.
Content, yeah.
But that she literally has had conversations where people say, can you make the script a little more
Make it dumber. Yeah.
but literally to say, can you have them phrase out what's happening more? Can you have them constantly repeat
Right.
what's
Because
happening?
people don't look at the show when they're
We've
watching.
found what
They're
they're
looking at their
doing
phone.
is scrolling and looking at their phone. So we
Yeah.
really need to make sure that you're constantly saying what's happening and stuff.
Yeah.
And I believe it.
The
I
characters should
truly believe that is
describe
true.
what's happening.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And that
No,
8
certainly it's the
episodes of
Netflix
TV
effect.
shows are
Yeah.
stretched to be like, but can you have it so that stuff is constantly reset up for just in case my grandma walked in the room and she just got off her cell phone? And it's like,
Right.
I don't watch
that's why-
TV for that.
But that's the problem, is that most people do. Like, they just want to put on some Netflix garbage and scroll their phone while they're watching it, barely paying attention, and just have it on as background noise.
Whenever I ask
unfortunately-
my coworkers, what are you guys watching right now? They say, oh, just something to put on before bed. We do, X, Y, Z.
Yeah.
And it's always something like, well, what did you like about it? I don't know. I could just turn my brain off. And I'm always like, right. Yeah.
Right, yeah.
Right. But we know, I
Yeah.
mean, it's still possible to make an Andor, right? It's still possible to make House of the Dragon season 1. Like, you can still make quality shows like that.
But
And-
the profit motive does not incentivize
Yeah.
that,
And that's, it's
You
like,
don't sell a lot
is
of
like one in
Andor
a million.
toys. You don't,
Andor toys aren't selling out. Yeah.
But Andor got all the critical acclaim, Colin. Isn't that worth anything to you? The critics loved it.
The shareholders don't care.
Emmy nominations, critical support, doesn't translate into commercial, unfortunately. But then you
No.
have things like The Bear. You have
Mm.
The Pit, my favorite show, The Pit, which is a medical procedural / drama that's actually very well made and smartly written. So you can make quality content still.
Nah, let's just get Mandalorian and Grogu.
Yeah.
Let's just get the Grogu.
And plus, we'll just feed all these Netflix scripts to the AI, and then we'll have all the slop we'll ever need
Yeah, what's the
written
matter?
for us.
You
That's what
see
people
somebody
want. They just want
release
endless
that
slop.
they made a Friends episode, a whole Friends episode in
No.
AI. Did you guys see it?
Well, I
did
saw
not see that.
it's full of like surreal AI moments where they it's barely, it's not watchable. It's like complete garbage. So it's like, TV will never be the same because AI. It's like, that is garbage. Nobody's going to watch that. Like,
Why would I saw somebody say, because there's the whole thing now about like porn, like both Meta and Chat GPT are like, we're gonna start letting you make porn or whatever. And it's truly
great.
the argument is like, well, why would anybody for entertainment ever want what somebody could create when instead you can create your own thing? My argument is always like, because some people aren't fucking creative.
Exactly.
Like,
Yeah.
these people who turn their brains off aren't going to be able to sit down and be like, make me a show that's like The Office, but it's like about my life.
Yeah.
right. Well, again, it's like
Great.
AI could never
bad.
replicate a human's ability to write like comedy or anything. Like, you could make a show that's like based on The Office with AI and have it replicate The Office, but you can't make something original with AI and have comedy that makes people laugh, because
Yeah, you can
It's-
make The Paper.
Oh, geez.
I actually heard The Paper is better than
I've actually heard it's
expected. Where it's like, yeah, it's a spin-off of The Office, but it actually is its own thing, and it's kind of funny. Maybe I'll check it out.
Yeah, I might
Um,
as well, actually.
but-
Get into our watch it coming up. I think maybe
Yeah.
next episode is that what's
Sometime
coming up
soon, yeah.
next?
Yeah, next week we're gonna be doing a watcha, so we can vent more about how everything sucks now. And
Yeah.
Well, we'll finish up our
awful.
Halloween stuff
Yes,
because we
we'll-
were
yeah,
a little off
focus on
on our
that.
list there. We've got some other stuff that we've sort of hinted at that we're going to talk about too, and maybe instead of doing some episodes on stuff, we'll get out some of our stuff there. So yeah, it'll be a good one.
Yeah, we'll be back
Yeah.
to later Miyazaki and
Right. I'm just
Predator
feeling super
eventually.
demoralized now about the state of everything after
Yeah.
talking to you
And
guys.
I should also
real
point out,
downer.
we didn't talk about the finale. None of us came into this episode knowing that we all hated it.
Yeah,
No.
that's true. We didn't text about it or anything. We just
No, literally, I was like, oh, I wonder
It
if
was such
anybody
a
will react to my
non-event.
first opinion sucking,
Mhm.
but it
Yeah.
was such a non-event, Jacob.
When Colin, you mentioned Gen V, which I think we've all been watching, and I think Gen V is better than Peacemaker season 2.
I think you called out that it felt very relevant politically, and
Yeah.
I think it certainly also feels like
Obviously-
lightning striking that show. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, The Boys has always been political. But now more than ever, I feel like, I mean, it's hard to get away from like what's going on in the world right now with everything. So I think we should do a Gen V episode in like a month. But
I think we should too. I
Yeah.
still to this day think the Stormlight episode where you watch Fat Neil from Community get radicalized is
Yeah.
the best depiction
Yeah.
of radicalization to the right wing on television.
Sure. And the common criticism of The Boys online is like, oh, it's just like hitting you over the head with like its political commentary. But it's like, you understand, it has to hit you over the head because some people still
You're
don't
a
fucking
moron.
understand.
Still don't get
that
it.
it's-
You
And they
keep
still like
making AI photos
Homelander
of
is the
Trump
bad
as
guy.
Homelander. Yes,
You
it's
don't
like
get it.
you don't understand.
media
Yeah.
literacy, people. It's at an all-time low.
Well, that's
Yeah.
why we need to repeat what is happening on screen verbally. And Gen V is having that this season too, where there's a lot of, what are we going to do? Let's remind everybody.
Oh,
Yeah,
my-
it's happening for sure. We'll talk about it more later.
Trust
but
me,
yeah.
I got my own
Yeah.
issues with that show that we'll bring up.
But
They're
I
a
like it
little
more than the
different from this.
Peacemaker finale. At
I
least,
agree
to
with
this
you guys.
point.
I still have a couple episodes to go on that. I think all the episodes are out at this point, so I need to finish that. But we'll talk about that in a couple.
We'll talk
weeks
about that in
for
a
sure.
couple weeks. Yeah.
Yeah,
But
but that's our.
we didn't make
episode, I
any
think.
peace. We made like consternation.
Isn't that ironic?
Constant conflict on this episode. We
That's
apologize, listeners. We hope you tuned in. We hope again that you like the show. If you do, let us know. If you like this DC universe, if you got your own thoughts about where it's going, hit us up at normies_like_us on all social media and check us out on our videos on YouTube as well.
Indeed, indeed, indeed.
Indeed, indeed, indeed. Matthew McConaughey.
Indeed, indeed. That's from the Nazi planet. Indeed, indeed,
Right.
indeed. Yep.
Yeah, that's Peacemaker season 2. Yeah, check us out on YouTube. And yeah,
Catch you
keep
next
watching. Thanks for listening, normies.
time. Mhm.
And we've been your hosts. This is Colin Saint Wild. Yeah.
Nice. This is the Prime Michael.
And this is Jacob Adebayo.
Jacob
He started Detective Agency.
Economos.
The
Yeah.
Economos.
Yeah. I got my ad in the back of this magazine.
Yeah, no, I can be there. That's true. Yeah, that phone call was great. Yeah, they're calling for a good time. Yeah, your phone call really sounded like you're a prostitute.
That was good too.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, don't call us for any of that, but do give us a like, share, and a subscribe. We'll catch you next time, normies.
That's
Peace
right.
out.
Remember, it's a hungry world.
We'll eat
Julian.
you alive.
Oh, Julian.
Talking
Bye.
about that lemur
Bye.
from Madagascar. So strange. Bye.